No,
Nobody
shut up,
called you
shut up,
that.
shut the fuck up. Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 20 of Gaming Related. The final pages. That sounded like an audio. Anyway, my name is Junior Monk, and I'm going to be hosting our session tonight. I'm super excited for a few reasons. One, the whole gang is here. Our beloved
Die together.
Savvy decided to cross the universe, but is still here tonight, which is awesome. And Toxin's here, and Camille is here, and Robin's here, and Mercy's here. We even have Soren Angel that's going to be playing with us tonight, so we're super excited for that. Without further ado, let's bring on the Windows. Hi, players. How we doing?
Hi.
The gang's all here. All right, let me adjust a couple cameras. There, now you're perfect, Camille, in every single way. Good.
I wasn't before?
Oh, I messed up. Let me fix it.
My mother lied. Again.
There we go. Hello, chat world. How are you all? Thanks for coming back 20 times. This is awesome. All right. Well, cool.
Can I ask a quick question, Monk?
You can.
Is there anybody in chat that has been here for all 20 episodes besides the cast? I have to say that because, yeah, I saw you going for it.
I was gonna say me.
I'm really curious if you have.
Yeah, Puck and Boop.
Yeah.
Did you say puck yeah?
Puck, yeah. No,
Puck,
language.
yeah.
I just said
Mr.
yeah,
Mini
but
Mopsy has.
I will accept that.
That's so
Y'all
cool.
are legends.
Y'all are the
Legends.
real ones.
Sorry, I was just curious because 20 episodes is a lot. And
Yeah.
I wanted to ask.
Cool.
Mini as well.
Yeah. Well, we love you all so much. So I wanted to start with a couple spoilers from Baldur's Gate 3. Let's
I'll
talk
kill
about.
you.
Don't
I'll kill you.
I
I cannot believe
just
they killed
started.
off the Vader.
Our viewer count just dropped by 10.
Wow. It was very interesting. They introduced Batman.
Oh
Third act.
man.
Interesting creative design, but well done,
Yeah.
Larian.
I had a hunch, but I wanted to be surprised.
I know.
Spoiler alert: there are more than 3 gates in the world. Says Yenye. Crazy. I watched Giggles play for about 30 minutes, and he was at a gate while I was watching him play, and arguing
Yeah.
with people at the gate.
Yeah.
No.
Didn't go well.
Please do not spoil Baldur's Gate 3. If you do, our mods will boot you. Myself included. All right. Well, if we're ready, can we? I haven't played it yet, so ready checks, players. Are you ready?
Roger, Roger.
I'm ready.
All
Hang on,
right.
one more threat to our community, and then yeah, I'm ready. Perfect.
Okay. Got it. Hey, Star Scourge is here. Welcome, Star Scourge. Let's find out what happened.
Previously on the final pages, with the return of our lovable ranger and that petulant bard, our reunited party does normal adventuring things, like intensely interrogating random people they just met, heartily debating if they should kill that same person, and unceremoniously executing the sole survivor of their previous combat encounter. The tiefling prisoner reveals her name as Azrael, and that she was captured on purpose to gain intelligence about local magic users to report back to the Adjudicators of Order, a sect of witch hunters that wish to police and limit Arcanum in all its forms. The party is split on what to do with this new agent. Should this spy be allowed to live after witnessing such overt displays of arcane prowess from the party? For fear she would simply report back to her masters. Or would murdering the hostage that the group just liberated break boundaries that could not be mended? Camille steps forward, staking his reputation, intuition, and his very life on the fact that he believes she will keep her word and not tell the buzzkill adjudicators about this party's alleged abilities. He does so by giving a haunting speech to Asriel, explaining that if she breaks her promise, the only person that will die because of her betrayal would be the one person willing to save her, for Camille's dying act will be to save the others, leaving only the bloodthirsty to hunt her to the ends of the earth. These sentiments were punctuated by the aforementioned unceremonious execution by the aforementioned lovable ranger. Now, back to the show.
All right. Welcome back to the show, everyone. We're live. We're doing this.
Yeah.
All right. So, as per what we did last session, we do have the wonderful Asriel with us, but there's not enough room at this table, so she's going to be taking up our chat window whenever she speaketh, and that way we
Don't
can
worry. We can free that up. I mean, if you're
No.
saying there's a problem that
Nope.
there's too many people and not enough windows, I can solve that problem.
I didn't.
We can take a vote to remove.
Nope.
You can't sit with us. She doesn't even go here.
In the analogy that this is a table that we're all sitting at playing, she's currently sitting on the floor.
That's
Not
not.
with a pillow. Like,
That's not true, Asriel. You can sit wherever you want.
The floor is fine.
Okay.
That's good.
No, it's
yeah,
good.
because you can't sit at the table. That's the one place you can't sit.
You are sitting in a chair at the table, but it's a chair that's definitely not the right size for the table.
It's like that like baby high chair, but I'm like perched on it. Like
Yeah.
Those
Oh,
little
yeah.
plastic chairs.
I definitely knew you were coming, and I have enough chairs for you. Does a beanbag chair work?
hell yeah.
There's a bar stool that's taller than the surface of the table.
I hate
perfect.
beanbag chairs. I hate them. They're hot. They're itchy. You fall into them.
What?
You can't get out of
Learn to
them.
have fun.
There's dog hair.
we've learned so much about Monk.
You know what?
All
I
the
love.
things you just said are
2
in my
seconds.
pro column.
I love
hot.
beanbag chairs.
They're
They're hot.
Wait, what?
They're itchy. They smell
Fall
like
into 'em.
bitches. I love it.
They smell like bitches. All of those are good things.
Yeah. Anyway. Hello. And where we left off, we are in the bandit camp. And you guys have been hanging out here for the day. You've cleared it. And also, there's a big bonfire just outside as all of the bandits are dead. All of them. Including the one that was assassinated by Hamish as she was begging for help. Leora Mendez looks up to you all. Please help. And Hamish says, sure, and shoots her in the face with the bow and
I
arrow.
regret nothing.
Sure you don't. And
I don't
now,
like the way you said that.
now, you've made camp, which is already made. You're in a fortified space. And all of you are getting rest except for one of you. And that is Asriel, as every time Asriel begins to nod off, she's awoken by Sabby. First by a magical fire that was lit right next to her, just close enough to make her uncomfortably hot to keep her awake, for reasons of making sure she doesn't get a full rest, because that means she'll be easier to contain and control.
No. See, that was the meta abstraction. That was the out of character reason why I was doing it. The in character reason was less nefarious. It was to ensure that, well, Asriel seems as though she needs to have the elven perspective. And thus she was instructing her on the elven perspective. It wasn't something so so insidiously sadistic that she was trying to deprive her of sleep. No.
Sure. Yeah, no, the elven perspective, we heard that as she was in and out of sleep. She started saying that to herself. Now, the rest of you, are you all sleeping this eve?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm snoring super loud. That's what's keeping Azrael awake.
Oh no.
That's the elven perspective.
Lovely.
I also talk in my sleep and accidentally cast charm spells.
Oh.
And I missed a message, but before we dive in, Toxin, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, just a quick note, quick little thing. Thank you to everybody who watches on Twitch. This note specifically goes out to our YouTube viewers, though, and I know there's a few out there. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the episode so far. Subscribe, and maybe share with your friends. I know that there's a few people that watch exclusively on YouTube because Wednesday's a bad night, and just know that we appreciate you too.
I love that. Yeah, no,
We do appreciate you significantly less because we have a chat
Oh
in
my
Twitch that we refer to constantly. And
Cut it.
so
Cut that.
so you
Cut that.
so
Wow,
you
yeah, we're just gonna
people-
cut that out.
Let's put that as a highlight.
Oh my god.
So yeah, if you're watching this as a short,
I can't cut him off. There's nowhere we can go from here.
God.
Cool. Yeah, I actually was just talking to someone who watches our show exclusively on YouTube because for reasons, and yeah, that's a very good call out.
that person specifically, that's who I'm talking to.
His name is Abe. His name's Abe. Go
Abe?
ahead, Abe. Yeah,
Abe?
yeah.
Fuck you.
No.
He loves you. He loves Robin. Okay. So yeah, that just happened, Abe. I'm so sorry. I was
Loved Robin.
trying to. Yeah.
You got a shout out.
All right. What are the rest of you all doing?
Not sleeping.
Yeah, I know what you're not doing.
I'm spooning
I
so.
mean,
Nice.
Oh.
Robin and Camille brought the part back with Fantasy Champion.
That's right. Fantasy Champion. I almost put the horse head on. I'll remind me. Fantasy Champion wants to say hello and welcome back.
Hey,
I don't
Monk.
think anybody's
Hey,
going
Monk.
to remind you.
Yep.
Monk, don't forget to put on the Fantasy Champion head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deal.
Consider yourself
Remember when he
reminded.
gave that weird PSA?
He did. And it was don't do drugs and D&D at the same time or something like
Unless it's steroids.
that. So,
Doing drugs right now.
is anyone keeping watch?
I put up alarm.
You did. Okay, so does that mean no one's keeping watch?
I'm not.
I mean, Savvy is keeping watch after a fashion. It's a very focused watch.
Okay.
I would
Up
argue,
for-
though, that it'd be good enough.
Is Azrael watching?
She's
Savvy and
disassociating.
Azrael are splitting the watch.
Watch. I hardly know her. I like it. That's from Starscourge. Okay. Well, Camille, what are you doing?
I was just like, at some point, Camille will be up for his allotted possible 2 hours of the long rest. Just walking about, keeping watch.
Okay. The camp itself is quiet this eve. No one is coming. No one is leaving because the trap, the ambush has been set and you guys took that off the road. And with Fantasy Champion bringing the cart back, you find yourself with a very quiet and peaceful evening. Minus the bonfire that's outside and currently raging. Leaving this huge plume of smoke up into the air, you all become acclimated to the smells and the sounds of burning bodies. It's going to be hours before it dies down.
Stealth.
What'd you
Stealthy
say?
fort. We did some stealth with the big fire. They'll never find us now. We covered it up with smoke. Now all of China knows we're here.
Well done.
There's some questions in chat I don't know the answer to. Do
No, we already
elves?
took care of them.
Okay.
The
So,
answer is
yes.
yes.
yes? Like,
Yes.
they have eyelids
Yeah,
inside
leave
of
it at
eyelids?
that. No,
Okay.
no, leave it at that. Specifically for you, Abe. You'll never know what that question is in chat.
They're called lactating membranes? What? Okay.
Wait, what?
Nictating membranes.
Oh, nictating. Sorry. All right. So,
that's on the internet now.
Yeah.
That's on the internet.
I have
now.
2 of those
Yep.
membranes myself.
Abe, if you want to be included on this inside joke, Google that on your work computer. Safe search on.
No.
So, Camille, you find yourself at rest at some point. Where do you rest? Where do you sleep?
Probably just on my bedroll, just on the grass somewhere. Not in one of the tents, just on the grass.
Okay. So I'm just gonna put you right here in the corner, and you close the front gate, and you look up at the sky, and you just see a starry night, and you find rest, and it comes at you almost like tunnel vision, where the 2 moons that are in the sky suddenly become one, and it's almost like you're being pulled toward the moon. And as you doze off, you wake up in another place. And this place that you wake up in looks limitless. You see the cosmos out in front of you, and you can see that the cloud formations are actually nebulas and these gaseous forms that are just out there. And where your feet lay, you see the reverse of everything above the horizon line. Below is dark and purples and blues, where above are yellows and golds and blues. And right in front of you, you see a structure. The structure itself is coming from the galaxies and forming these columns, these pillars. And you can see stairways that lead up to the inside of these pillars from every angle. And rather than walk, you float. And as you float, you feel a warmth. And as you look down, you are going to see yourself, almost like you're looking at a reflection pool of water. But the yourself that you see is dead, is drowned. It's your form that you take when you scare people. The form that you found yourself walking on the beach once upon a time after that great war against the orcs of the Wretched Ash Forest. What do you do?
First, I just curiously sort of kneel down and touch the reflection as though it were a pool of water.
As you reach down, your dead self grabs you by the arm and pulls you, and you go flying. And before you can even put your hand up, you come up and out of the water. And as you come up and out of the water, everything is the same except different. You're in the fantasy upside down. Now, where there are nebula and gas and glowing stars, there are webs and ash and floating corpses everywhere for infinity. And as you look down, you see yourself in the living form, and you see yourself wearing your father's garb, his farming gear, his overalls, his boots, even his hairband. And with the mere effect, he follows you towards this great big structure, and you continue to move forward. As you continue to move forward, you see the stairs in front of you, and for the first time, there is a platform that you can stand on. There is surface. And as you touch it, it's almost like you're standing on top of smoke, and your steps are pushing the smoke away from you, revealing these black marbled floors. And you start to climb the stairs. No sound, just ash. And oh, good call, Vordoon. Let's change the fire purple. As you come around the corner, you can see standing at the back is a form. And the form that you see is that of a beautiful, slender, tall woman, as tall as the column itself. And she has one hand against the column, and the other hand is just out towards the cosmos, the dead and the floating. And you recognize the form almost instantly. It's Tabis. What do you do?
I'm sorry, this is a very beautiful moment. I was looking at the picture of Tavis, and I just caught down at the end that just she's hot down at the end of the.
I know, I covered that on purpose.
I love that it's part of the description.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was GM notes, if I'm honest. I guess it's not. Oh well.
I'll walk up to be sort of next to her, but a little bit behind her, and looking out towards the endless expanse with her, just say, I am.
As you look at her, you're going to realize that in this current form that she's in, there are no hanging sinew or bones or skin. It's full formed. The only one who's dead here, besides the cosmos around you, is yourself. She has beautiful blonde hair. Her eyes are bright blue. Her skin a dull tan. And she talks to you not in the dual voices, but in a single voice. And she says, my champion, you have taken your path, and you have begun to run with it. I've been watching you ever since I pulled you out of that cave. I bring good news. Chianxi and all of the other pillars are none the wiser for what you stumbled upon.
That's mighty fine from the warnings given.
Tyler Durder and his people. You saved them. You didn't have to. Considering where I placed you, you saved them.
Well, nobody has to do anything. Everything's an active choice. And I mean, if we're being fair here, I mean, you saved them. I just pointed you in the right direction, I think, if I may be so bold.
You may. So what comes next, champion?
So title's gonna take some getting used to. Well, near as I can tell, I think we're gonna go see the Hamley down in Brittle Hollow. I know there's more greater work to be done, but it'll be a good place to stop and reflect, I think. Everybody could do with a little reflection every now and then.
She smiles at you. When you look out into the cosmos, I want you to understand something, my dear champion. Everything that I have created has a balance, both in life and in death. I chose you after I met you on the battlefield. I have something to show you, Camille. But before I do, and you're going to see she's going to whip her hand out, and you're going to see this black ebony smoking scythe come out. And it's your scythe. And as she holds it, you shut your face, Abby. As she holds it, you're going to see it kind of flickers with purple power as she hands it to you. It's not your strength that wields the power of this weapon. It's your heart and your mind. And as long as you continue on your path, you will find yourself stronger than you've ever been. But everything that I give you, Camille, comes at a choice. Go and see for yourself. And she points forward, and you could see the cosmos itself kind of open up. One of the pillars vanishes, almost like it was just a pillar of smoke. And there you see again that reflection on the ground, the opposite, everything glowing and beautiful and bright, where you started in this vision. You hear your footsteps. You hear your heart beating. Whoop, 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 whoop. And as you start to move forward, rather than your heart speeding up or getting louder, it starts to slow down. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. You feel yourself start to get lightheaded. You instinctively grab the scythe and you put it on the ground to use as a walking stick. And you stumble forward, and as you fall to your knees, your face reaches or meets the surface. And there you see your father. You see the battlefield in front of you. You see him pushing an orc with his feet off of his chest. You see him fight to stand up. As he fights, he reaches for a knife and he stabs another orc in the chest and uses it to propel himself up onto his feet. You see him look at you, and then you see yourself riding on a horse, racing through the battlefield, calling out his name. And then you feel a burning in your chest, and as you look down, you see your father has been skewered by a spear. And you see him fall to his knees. You see him call out to you, but nothing comes out of his mouth. And then you see an orc approach from the side. And as the orc comes running with his axe, you see yourself, just about face. You don't remember any of this when you woke up on the beach, but you make eye contact with your father. You see the spear sticking out of his chest from behind. You see an orc on his flank. And you run to him. And the orc gets there first. And with a quick cleave. The neck is split open, and blood gushes out. You jump off your horse, you fall, you roll over the dead. And as you grab your father by the back of the head, suddenly in the vision, you're back on the battlefield. There is no cosmos. It's just you on the beach. What do you do?
So I'm just there on the beach, holding him.
The war is going on around you. The orcs are fighting against the Lafate Kingdom. And your father has been dealt a deathly blow.
Just frantically, I'm tearing at fabrics, supplies, whatever I have, trying to cover the wound, apply pressure, but not so much as to be choking him out while trying to stop the bleeding, and just frantically, no, come on now, I couldn't find you when I woke up. You weren't here. Which means this isn't how it went. This isn't how it goes. Can't be. Trying to do what he can.
You're putting pressure on the wound. It's from ear to ear on his neck. There's no saving him, and you know this. He's gasping for breath and choking. His heart is slowing, and you feel the heartbeat again slow in your chest. Boop, boop. Then there's a breeze coming from the ocean waves, and as the cloth covers his face, you move it out of the way. But it's not his face anymore. It's yours. You're choking. You've been skewered. Your dad holds your head. And he says, I couldn't find you. It's not supposed to be this way. Please, son. You're the one that died. And then the lights go out. And you wake up in the pitch black of this camp. And you are gasping for air. It's loud enough that Savvy hears you. Azrael hears you. As you are not too far away from where the tents are. And you reach up to your neck. And there's no wound. Your scythe rests right by you. The scythe that you summon whenever you need it is there. What are you all doing?
Well, it seemed like he just woke up, like, with a start. As far as, like, you said that Savvy and Azrael could likely hear him. But it would just sound like he's just startling himself awake, would it not?
It sounds like he has sleep apnea. You hear him stop breathing, and suddenly he starts gasping for air. He starts trying to clear his throat, and he instinctively sits up and finally catches his breath. And with a huge inhale, suddenly the light comes into your vision. You can see that there's a fire. It's been tended to by Savvy. You see that Azrael is there as well, looking at you uncomfortably. And you both make eye contact.
Are you okay?
As soon as I catch my breath enough, gets up, rights himself. His hair is not braided or back or anything. It's just a mess. And as he runs his hand through his hair, he grabs the scythe off the wall, starts pushing the gate open, and just says, I need to take a walk.
You see, Azrael, that is the price of slumber. Aren't you glad that you appreciate the elven perspective?
The elven perspective. Yep, the elven perspective. The elven perspective. Yep, that.
Yep. Let it sink in. Yep.
It's
Sammy's not going to pursue him or anything.
Okay. And with that, Camille goes off into the forest outside of the camp as you two continue talking of the elven perspective. You're out in the woods and nothing bothers you. You can go back to the site where the ambush was, and there's a river there with a pool. What does Camille do out there?
I go to the pool and just kind of kneel at its edge, just staring at my reflection and the reflection of the stars in the water. I think he is very still and very silent for a very long time.
Yeah, you just don't know. You don't know yet. But whatever you saw, it felt real. Out of character, you now have a +1 to your scythe. And instead of using strength or dex, you now can use your charisma on that scythe. So when you attack with this weapon, you can use your charisma modifier instead of strength or dexterity for both attack and damage rolls. A gift from Tabis.
That rules so fucking hard. Oh my god.
Shout out
I have a
to
really
Giggles for that.
cool dream. I have a really cool dream that's like about like a really cool sandwich I had once, and I get like a really cool flip attack. That's what happens in my dream.
You mean you're juggling balls? You dream of juggling?
Guys, check this out, and I juggle even harder.
You're sleeping. Are you dreaming this?
I'm doing I cast a spell in my sleep, and I make Azrael do like 50 jumping jacks.
oh dear lord. While she's doing these jumping jacks, so she's just gonna be repeating the elven perspective after each one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just like 1, the elven perspective. The elven perspective. Elven perspective.
Keep it down. Some of us are trying to sleep.
Sorry. Just gonna keep going.
And with that, the night comes and goes. The morning greets you with ashen corpses. The fire has been stoked throughout the night with Savvy. You all are well rested, except for you, Azrael. Now, Azrael, what you can do is open your character sheet. And if you open your character sheet, you will find your hit die.
Mm-hmm.
You can click on those
Alright.
and regain some hit points. We reroll ones. And you could do it 3 times.
3 times.
3 times. And that's all you're going to get for the day. You can reroll that natural one.
Alright.
That's better. and apply that to your HP.
Well,
All of your abilities that say you regain these on a long rest are the ones that you don't get. You are now exhausted, which means you have disability on ability checks, or disadvantage on ability checks. You're not disabled.
got it.
Okay. And with the sun warming your skin and your eyes, you are able to wake up. And yeah, the moment you find a little bit of comfort, maybe the ride on the cart, maybe a bit of shade, maybe if they pull over, the moment you close your eyes, you will fall asleep. But for now,
Oh no, she will not.
the whole gang's awake.
Oh.
What are you guys doing this morning? Minus a Camille who's not in camp.
I have one tiny thing. I'm sitting there and I'm writing on a piece of paper and it looks like I'm really struggling over it. And I go, hey, Mercy, do you know any good puns that are mountain related? The best I got so far is granite. Oh.
No.
Oh. Okay, thanks. Go back to writing on my piece of paper. then I guess I'll do that with Savvy, and I'll repeat that with Ham. Just whoever passes. Hey, got any good mountain puns? I got granite as a, like, don't take it for granted, but I'm just wondering if there are any better options.
DM, do I know better mountain puns?
I don't know. I'm not gonna give you that. I don't know a mountain pun.
I'm just saying. Is there a roll that I should make if I know mountain puns?
No, I don't condone puns, so I'm not gonna make you roll.
Whoa,
Don't-
whoa!
Okay.
This
Well-
punishment seems out of nowhere.
What? Whatever.
Punishment.
You could use grovel.
Oh, make them gravel. Yeah. And I
Exactly.
write it down. I'm writing my pen pal.
There you go. Wait, you have a pen pal.
Yeah, Torian. He has this spell that he can cast, and it sends me a message, and I can respond. See, I can only use 25 words though, so this is what I got so far. Oh, hey there, bud. It's good to hear from you. Tell Tyler Durder I says hi. And tell those lizard folk, don't take your lessons for granted. That's 25 words. It's real limited, so I gotta choose my words very carefully.
You know,
No.
I do have another one you could add. It's not the best, but you could put it near the end.
I'm out of words, so I gotta take stuff out to send him stuff. But let's hear it.
I mean, you could put near the end, like, to sum it all up, you know? You
To
could-
sum it all up.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's pretty good. You earned yourself a 3-second nap. Enjoy.
Well, that's actually blinking. Alright, that's, okay, thank you.
Yeah, 3
I shall
seconds
take
is up.
this. Okay.
You wasted it. Good job. Good fucking
That's-
job. And I walk
That's
away.
alright.
It's your fault for not eating the jerky.
Oh,
You know,
I also walked away.
you know what?
everyone's walking
Have a
away.
small- Oh,
Savvy
I'm just gonna
says
look to
to
Jack
Azrael.
around.
Savvy says to Azrael as Robin walks away. You know what I find odd about mountains? I don't really find them that funny because I think of them more as hill areas. Hilarious. Because
I heard that. That's pretty good.
That's
Oh,
that's
good
actually
job, Tabby.
that's really great.
Ella, you can give that to him.
Does the story continue? Or
Has Camille come back yet? Or
No.
is Camille back in
help
camp?
us, Camille. What are you doing out there in the
Azrael,
woods?
Azrael, how do you know what the weather is at the top of the mountain?
I don't know.
You climb it. Climate.
Okay,
Got it.
you guys are fantasy
I'm gonna-
googling
I'm
this
gonna-
stuff.
I'm gonna-
I
asked me for a roll and you didn't give me one, so yes, I googled that shit. Like, I'm not coming up with that off the top of my head.
I was gonna say that was really good. That was really good. Okay, Camille.
I'm gonna go
Hmm.
find Camille.
Okay, you hop over the fence.
Oh,
Boing.
easily.
Woo! Woohoo! Like Super Mario. You're more of a fantasy Luigi.
Yeah.
That's a compliment. Okay.
Wait, I can't be Luigi. I'm short.
Okay. You're fantasy
Are you
toadstool.
really? You give me tall person energy.
Thank you. That's the first time anyone said that about me.
Robin shall uncover all the mountain puns. Good job, Yang. I'll give you that one. You hop over the fence, and you and Syl eventually go out and find Camille. Camille, what state are you in right now? What have you been doing all night?
I imagine we probably run into each other at the same time. Camille is very visibly shaken and disheveled. I think he's just in like his white undershirt. He didn't wear his armor out into the forest. Just hair not tied back. He's full Bobbio right now.
Love
It just kind of runs into you somewhere between the pond and camp, and he's just kind of standing there with his scythe in hand, just staring at you.
Did you see something out there? Are we fighting?
No. No, I didn't see anything out there. Just needed a breath. Needed a moment. We can head back now. It's
No, it's the morning. The only thing waiting for us all day is travel. Why don't we just walk around a bit? I also need some breath, some breath, air, freshness.
Hamish hasn't taken his boots off all night. He slept with them on.
They are supremely comfortable. I will
Nice.
not take them off.
I don't blame you.
Come on, let's walk around a bit. What's the worst that happens? We leave 30 minutes later.
Sure. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Smash cut to Robin huffing and puffing, loading the back of the wagon. Where are they? We have an agenda. We're gonna get to the fantasy Disneyland, and the lines are gonna be so long. We're supposed to leave. This road trip starts at 8 a.m. on the dot.
You know, I can't help but remember in this moment, aggressively, the way that Robin was introduced.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good callback. That's a good callback.
Oh.
It's called
know-
character growth.
Yep.
That's my character growth.
It's done. We've arrived.
Punctuality. So, looks like you need to work something out a little frustration-wise. Don't worry, I have no intention of asking if you don't want to share. I was just gonna recommend. There's some dead trees. You have a big old scythe that seems to do a whole lot of cutting and not a whole lot of dulling. So, if you wanted to, we could cut some things down.
I'd like to think at this moment is when we're passing by the pool that Camille spent his night at, and as we pass by it, you can see there's one tree by the water's edge that is just obliterated, like
Yeah.
just in horrible shape. Very clean cuts, but very many of them.
Like a beaver. You beavered all over that tree.
This here is a good, good work. Let's go to that one, and maybe while you're doing that, you can just vocally say what's on your mind to nobody in particular, but I'll be here.
Camille will look at you and he'll look down at his hands that are probably red and maybe a little bruised from, upwards of a few hundred good swings of his scythe over the course of the night. He just kind of lets go of it as he was using it as a walking stick. It just falls and looks at you and says, You ever watched a loved one die? Not like had somebody pass when you were a kid, but like you were there in the room.
I've seen lots of people die, but never one that I've loved. No.
Yeah, I didn't think I had either. Something came to me last night, and there were some missing pieces, and I found some of them, and I don't like them. Nobody died. That's not true. But nobody close to me died, but I saw it like it did. Different question, probably the same answer. I'd hazard a guess. You ever seen yourself die? Probably not, right? Yeah, weird question.
No. Well, I've never seen myself die for real.
Seen yourself fake die?
I
You an actor?
don't suppose dreams count.
Given the particular context, I'd have to say absolutely, yeah, sure.
Aye, I've seen it. If that's what qualifies, then I've seen it. I've seen friends, family, myself. But it
Cam, you
hasn't
been-
really affected me this way.
Yeah.
Usually I
Yeah.
wake up and I feel alright after a while.
Yeah, just a quick catch of the breath, and then you move on about your day. Ham, you've been pretty dang forthright with me since we met, and I'm going to be forthright with you for a moment. I've alluded to this because I didn't know concretely, and he's going to enter his form of dread, a grand, taller, drowned form, and as he does, kind of pulls the shirt aside and really lays bare the wounds on his neck, his shoulder, his arms. These ain't just magic, these are mine. I'm starting to think that this is me. This is who I am, and who you see walking around during the day, that's the magic. I died, Ham, like I for real died. I thought maybe I died, I was dead. And my father watched it happen. And I've been trying to find him for a while, and I am no closer than I was when I left home. And he'll let the form drop. And I just don't know what I'm doing. I didn't know that happened all this time. He's probably thinking I'm still dead, and I don't even know where to begin looking. And now we're on this grand quest. We're supposed to take out a pillar? Pillars plural, maybe? And I can't even find my dad. I thought, magic in hand, I was ready. I think I'm still just a scared kid.
Camille. I'm sorry. I'll do whatever I can to help you find your dad. But there is one thing I need to correct you on. it wasn't too long ago when I thought that magic was a different side of me, that it was something to be ashamed of. You say the you that walks around during the day is magic. Who cares? Still you. Doesn't matter. And as far as I can tell, it doesn't really matter if your heart's beating. You're here and you're, to me, that makes you alive. We're talking. I know there's more rules with it, but that doesn't matter to me. That said, I know that the feeling to want to be home with your family. And I promise I will do whatever we can to get you to your dad. On the way, let's talk about where you've been, where you've looked. And maybe the others might have a few ideas. We don't have to tell them everything if you don't want to, of course. But looking by yourself obviously isn't working, so getting some extra help I think is a good idea.
Camille's been looking down this whole time. He does one big, like, sleeved wipe across the face. So he just drops to his knees for a moment and he hugs you if you allow it. He's gonna take you in one arm and, like, Syl in the other and just kind of quietly cry for a moment before dusting himself off and standing up and yeah. You're a good man, Ham. You're a good man. We can head back. I'll tell you where I've been. And give me some time. Let me formulate what all I feel like sharing with everyone else.
Absolutely. Can I ask something?
Of course.
Do you have to breathe when you're in that other side of you?
That's personal,
honest-
Hamish.
I mean, he was showing.
To be honest, Ham, I'm not sure I need to breathe now. It's just kind of habit, and I'm scared to find out that I don't.
Syl, do you have to breathe?
Right.
Does Syl have to breathe?
Syl does have to breathe.
Yeah.
She comments in 3 different languages.
French
None of
being
us
the most
understand,
prominent of them.
course.
Oi.
I'm not sure Syl has to breathe. She seems alive. She seems good.
Yeah, why not?
I'm not saying you have to find out now. I was just saying. I mean, that's quite the skill. You could make some good money.
How
All
thoughtful,
kids.
Hamish. Let's make money off of what you just found out. To the city.
I had a great grift in mind.
Sorry, I'm just messing with you. Life's not always meant to be so serious.
Yeah, it could have fooled me nowadays. I appreciate it.
When you're ready.
Yeah. No, we'd better get going. I'm sure Robin's getting pretty steamed at this point. You know how punctual he's been trying to be lately.
It has been an interesting week.
I set a New Year's resolution 5 years ago, and I, I didn't want to let myself down anymore. You know what? Fuck it. And I unpack my stuff. I unpack all of it.
And we walk back.
And you walk
unpack
back.
it. I've sat down next to the dwindling fire with my flask. My feet are up. I'm like, oh, sure, now you show up. Nope, we're not leaving for another 40 minutes.
See, I told you he wouldn't be ready.
Oh, sure. I walk off.
Wow.
I do a broody stroll.
Okay.
I don't know what just happened.
No,
So-
just kidding.
Camille has to AFK for a minute. But as he comes back to camp with Hamish, you guys prepare the last of your stuff. You have a wagon, you have horse, or horses. You're probably about 5 days travel away from Brittle Hollow, but you are free to start traveling. What else are you guys doing before you leave camp?
Talking about airships. The airship that we're going to build. The airship that I
okay.
dream in my mind. The airship that is most unquestionably the focal point of Savvy's entire existence right now. In fact, she's excitedly talking to Mercy. Now, Mercy, I don't know much about the flying component of it, but the ship component of it, I know very well. And if we need a ship, I can even get us a ship. Now,
We'll
it may
definitely need a
involve
ship.
some decisions that I don't know that everyone will be okay with, but we can get a ship. Of that, I'm sure. If we get a ship, we just need to make it fly. And I know that saying just is a little bit reductive. I understand that. But really, this is just my enthusiasm, because if we can get a ship that flies, Mercy, we could rule not just the seas, but the land. You wouldn't even... Because when you pull up beside a ship, they can open their cannon ports and you open yours and you kind of hope. Like, I was standing next to a guy on my very first raid that was liquefied by a cannonball. Just
Ooh.
gone.
Gross.
I actually, he got on me. Like, it was something. But you can imagine you didn't have to, like, put yourself beside them. You could just point the cannons down at them, and they can't point them up. Imagine what we could do
Technically they can.
with an airship.
Difficultly, but
Put racing stripes on it.
Robin, if you get me a ship, if you get me a flying ship, Mercy, we can paint not just racing stripes, but flames on the side of it. I hear those are really
Oh.
intimidating.
Hell yeah, I'm in.
That's what caused the end of the third iteration of the worlds. Was flames painted on people's clothes.
See, it's not that difficult to get a ship. Have you tried asking?
You know, I know this will come as a surprise, Robin. I don't often ask.
Oh, it opens a world of doors. It's great. Yeah, next ship we come across that you say this is a good ship, I'll just ask for it. And it's like a 70-30 that they'll give it to us.
I know a guy. I'll make an introduction.
Oh, perfect.
I also need seashells.
By the seashore.
We could get you seashells because boats are usually next to the sea, and that's where you get seashells.
I'm just saying, obviously, we're going to head to Brittle Hollow, and we need to meet the Hamley. But after we do that, we could head to Strathmore to learn more about what we have to know to make the airship. But then, if we head further south just a little bit, we head to Fabrigia. I know a guy, and we can get a ship. Because we'll ask him, and he's going to give us a ship.
Right. And this guy, we want to keep him safe.
Dealer's choice.
Okay. I'll try and keep him alive, but loose ends aren't really my style. And I put on some sunglasses and I look into the camera.
I'm not responding to that. I'm not here.
So I just looked past Savvy with sunglasses Savvy has never seen me wear or have.
And somehow Savvy just spontaneous is like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We can do that.
that's what we do.
Okay.
Talk about airships.
Yeah.
Our current quest, the airship quest.
Yeah.
The main quest, make an airship.
Got it.
Think about this. Where are the gods? They're in the sky, right? Right?
Right?
How are we gonna get there?
Can't get there without an airship.
An airship. So we're doing the main quest by doing a side quest. It's the only way to do it.
The side quest being the meet the gods bit, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
With the airship.
Tears of the Kingdom. We're playing it. Okay. So.
Can't believe they killed off Batman in that one. That was pretty.
Here's
It was a bold move to have SpongeBob do it.
Right.
So, Azrael, you're up. What are you doing?
Every once in a while, she's just saying, the elven perspective. And then she kind of zones out a little bit. And then she comes back to, and she's like, have we headed out yet? I believe we've got a ways to go. And I'm going to try, I'm going to try my very best to, tell you where the chubby thingies are, and the elven perspective. Yep.
No, don't. We already know. Robin is fine.
That's right.
But every time she gets too unfocused, bonfire.
Bonfire.
Just bonfire.
Please don't set the card on fire.
It won't be on. It won't be. What's interesting about this is if you technically look at it, it's just on the ground that you can see within range. So in essence, what's gonna happen is it'll just be on the ground right in front of her, like right in front of her. Just bam,
Yeah.
bonfire.
You know,
Love it.
I'm sorry. It's not my fault that I stayed awake all night, and now you're putting bonfires right in front of my face.
I don't.
You're actually asleep.
I didn't see any bonfire.
I don't see any fire.
I'm
You
pretty
do
sure
gaslighting
this is
her
what,
now?
Yeah.
It was right there.
You know what? Thank you, oh blue-haired one.
You're welcome.
You know what?
I bet you don't even remember her name.
You know, not in this state.
Robin.
Actually, I really don't. I'm so sorry.
Mr. Lump.
Oh, right, Mr. Henry Lump. Right, that's your name.
me.
The one who made me do 50 jumping jacks in the middle of the night.
Oh, I have been known to cast spells in my sleep, and I.
Was it a dream?
Oh,
Yes.
No, your form was
I mean,
in your head.
no.
Your form was in your head.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's, wow. All right.
Either was or was not a dream.
Have we started leaving yet?
Yeah.
We
We're
have
on the
started
road.
No, have they
leaving,
got?
right? Okay.
It sounded like they were gone for a
We're-
while, so I
we're
feel
making- we're
like
making-
this could go on for
Yeah.
30, 45, an hour. Good.
Maybe
solid,
3.
Let's call it a quarter a day.
Okay.
We're just making our way to town. We're walking fast.
Walking fast.
Okay. So you start
Emma's homebound.
your trip towards Brittle Hollow to go see the Hamley. And as you're traveling, it's going to take you 5 days and 4 nights. I have a question for the group, minus Azrael. Are you going to let her sleep any of those 4 nights? And Azrael, are you going to do anything about it?
Look, I would really, really like to sleep. Whatever you want, but please. I really need sleep.
If she does get any more exhausted, she will become a hindrance.
Oh,
So-
this is Savvy's whole
I'm
shtick.
just gonna be straight up. Like, Savvy has no intention of allowing her to not be exhausted. She will be exhausted. To what degree is open to negotiation.
Okay.
Frankly, Savvy was gonna push her to level 2 exhaustion from a meta abstraction perspective.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
that was gonna be basically like if you want that to be done for a day or two and then reset and then do it again, that's fine. If you want that to be she gets to sleep for a couple of days and then Savvy just starts being antagonistic again, that's fine. But again, just to be abundantly clear, Savvy has no intention of allowing her to be essentially fully rested
Sure.
while she is so obviously not trustworthy in Savvy's mind.
Okay.
Like, that's just
Yeah.
not something that's been reconciled.
Okay.
So unless that changes, her position does not change.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say if we were putting numbers on the level of exhaustion I'd want her to be at, probably 6.
Oh.
That's the
That's it.
Okay.
Samesies.
So
Let's go for
Okay.
7.
for those of you not in the know,
Abe.
yeah, Abe. This is for no.
Yeah,
Abe knows.
Sorry, Abe.
Okay, we're gonna pick on Abe this whole episode. At exhaustion level 2, your speed is halved. At level 3,
Good.
disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. By the 3rd day, you are starting to be discombobulated. You are rambling. You are walking dizzily. You are not in any type of way to fight. By day 4 of no sleep, your hit point max is halved. Day 5, you can't move. Your speed is 0. You have to be carried. You have to be put in a cart. And by the 6th day, you will die of exhaustion. So,
Stanford prison experiment right here.
the 2nd day of travel comes and goes. You guys find that this road is never traveled. The Duanbura mine is just dried up. No one uses it anymore. So, you avoid all the traps. You avoid the Judicars, and you make your way to Brittle Hollow. And
Along the way, occasionally, I spy with my little eye something green. And I'll just to break up the monotony of the travel.
Is it a tree?
Holy shit! What number am I thinking of?
oh my gosh.
Or two? It's got to be 3.
Oh, whoa! Gang, it was 7, but that's only like 5 off.
At day 3, I'm going to say you need to actually include the species of the tree. This has got to be more difficult.
It's
Okay.
a dungeon alchemist tree.
What if I don't know the species of the trees?
I'll whisper it to you. It's fine.
Okay. Ham, what's that one right there?
It's a spruce.
I spy with my little eye something brown.
I'm offended.
Is it the dirt?
Close. It's the tree in the dirt. It was the bark of the tree. It's a spruce tree.
I thought
Hey,
you
I
were
got
going
one,
to
I
say
got one,
me
wait.
again.
Wait, I know tree names. I got one. I spy with my little eye something green.
A tree name.
No.
Willow.
No.
Is it an aspen?
No.
He said
Is it
ass.
an
I think it
aspen?
is. I think it's an aspen.
Is it a
That's-
It's
is
an
it
ass.
wretched
That's
ass
close.
pin?
You're close, but no.
Pine.
Can I roll for this?
Ham, you got a guess?
Is it the grass?
Yeah, it was the grass.
Hey,
yeah, you got it.
Oh,
Excellent.
I don't know that the grass was close to an aspen.
your ass is grass.
It's all plants.
That's fair. That's fair.
Your aspen is graspin.
Just the point
For
of
Hadar.
pointing out
For what?
objects.
Mercy, it's fun. Aren't you having fun?
I'm confused, no.
Oh,
Azrael, are you having fun?
You know what? This is the most fun I've had in a very long time.
Isn't it just?
yay!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It would really help us out if you gave us 5 stars on Uber.
You know what?
Fantasy
I'll tell
Uber.
You what. I'll tell you what, Robin. I shall give you all 6.5 stars on Uber, Fantasy Uber.
Wow,
This is
I
the
didn't know it
best.
was that high.
Can it be 6.9?
Hey.
Of course.
Nice.
6.9. That's a nice number.
Excellent.
Why wouldn't you just want 7?
Because it's a sex
Because
number.
7's afraid of 8.
Oh yeah, why would...
Don't think too hard on that.
So that's
Can
a
you give
good
me
solid.
7?
I'll give you a 7, of course. Whatever
You're
you
all
like.
10s to me,
Alright.
Camille.
So we're going along.
Yeah, that's a good day of travel. Okay.
Can it be 2 days?
That's
So-
the only thing we say during the whole day.
The
of
whole-
travel. It's
Yeah.
that 3-minute exchange, silence.
Eventually,
And
what you
bonfires. And occasional bonfires.
so you'll be
course.
by the time we get to Brittle Hollow, you will have 2 levels of exhaustion. Now, you are all going to notice by day 3, the ground itself is going to start to change from the green, wonderful, lush forest and grass to sparse trees. And you're going to start to see tumbleweed cross your path. You'll start to see the occasional cactus kind of fill this entire area. You'll notice that there's going to start to be a lack of water. The river at this area is dried up. And your speed is halved, by the way, Azrael. You have disadvantage on ability checks as you are 2 levels into exhaustion.
Don't worry, Savvy will slow her pace to keep you company.
That's
Oh,
lovely.
Savvy's
Thank
making you walk.
so
Nice.
much.
Yeah, you think she's getting in the cart? She might sleep if she's in the cart. No,
You're
she
right.
walks.
Yeah. So, for the next 2 days, you will go.
Is this normal?
It is
I'm
normal.
presuming. Okay.
Yeah.
I pick up a twig in the dried out riverbed and I snap it and I go, oh, it's pretty brittle. That's brittle.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it
this is.
hollow?
Oh dear.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it's like a straw. The stick it's hollow. It's brittle and it's hollow.
Oh dear.
Eventually. Well, I need to know what you will do for water, because for the next 2 days, there will be no water. And the only food you can find is scorpion and a couple lizards.
I
Which
got
is
this.
delicious.
The occasional rabbit. Are you hunting, Hamish?
If the option's there, absolutely.
Yeah, give me a survival check.
Hang on, Ham, are you an outlander by chance?
Survival check, you say, right?
All right.
Why did you diss him like that? I don't know. He just you tell him your big secret, and then all you ask is, "Are you an outlander?" He's like, "Anyway."
Let me bare my soul to you. Hey, by the way, what's your background? I gotta go by.
I mean, the books were pretty good, but I did like the reimagining they did on the Stars Network. It was pretty good.
Thanks.
'Cause
Fantasy Stars.
Outlander.
Yeah, there can be only one.
So,
Book that was-
no, I'm not. I'm not an outlander.
Oh, you're answering in character. Nice.
Well, he asked me in character.
I asked you out of character.
You asked him.
I didn't. If it's not a country accent, it's out of character.
I can't tell the I can't tell the
I heard
difference.
country.
I
hear
question
country
for
every time.
Doctor.
Yes, Robin.
Out of character.
All right. I'll answer in my real voice. Are you certain you don't want to know? Because I can tell you.
I'm just gonna look. I'm just gonna look at his background and I'll answer it for you.
It's Outlander. I'm just, I I don't remember.
It's
my
cultist.
Oh, wow. Anyway, you come back with 2 lizards. Good job. An 8. 2 lizards.
Did I
Savvy
check
also
into the
goes
big
hunting.
rocks?
Can Savvy go hunting?
Yes, Savvy, you go hunting.
Ugh. Survival?
Yes.
Does Savvy go hunting with me or just by yourself?
By herself.
Savvy comes back with a giant hair. Robin comes back with a scorpion tail.
I wanted a nat 20 so bad. I wanted to kill a rabbit with my teeth.
Okay, Camille comes back with the pail of water. He got it from a
Don't
cactus.
ask me where I found it.
I'm gonna ask him incessantly where he found it.
He got it from a
I'm not freaking
cactus.
until you tell me where you got it.
Did you get it from the right cactus? Because
It's-
I've seen Avatar. Fantasy Avatar.
It's white liquid, but it's drinkable.
It sure
It's
is.
white
Sure is.
liquid.
Sure is.
I chug-a-lug.
Wait. Oh, never mind.
Thank you, folks. We hope you had a wonderful night here with us.
What?
I can see no
What?
better time to end the show.
Cactus water is white. Cactus juice. It's the quenchiest, says Yanye.
It's the quenchiest.
It's the quenchiest.
Thank you, Yanye. Yanye would
Okay,
know.
Robin has one rule that he lives his entire life by. When Camille hands him a pail full of white water,
Yep.
he guzzles it.
Yeah.
It's a good rule to live by.
Okay.
Cool. On
That's
the
the
thick
only
side.
rule.
Were you gonna cleanse the water, Mercy? Is that what you're waiting for? You don't have to.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
I was gonna purify it.
nice.
I'll wait for the purification. Fine.
No, you won't. You're full of calories now and water. Okay. So you guys make it to Brittle Hollow. Now,
We did it.
thanks for the clip.
Um,
Thanks for that one, Mr. Mini Mopsy. Guzzle the juice. Okay. So
we put
anyway,
more Dick Valley on there.
what? I don't. What?
The bottom left. of the
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Who did that?
screen. I feel
I
sorry
don't-
for chat. They can't see it.
I don't know, but they're my hero.
You. Mercy, was that you?
I don't know what you're talking about, actually.
I
That's-
love that.
I don't know
Anyway,
who did it, but y'all are great.
Art.
it looks real.
Beautiful.
Anyway,
Oh, there it is. I now know what you were talking about.
well, we're gonna change maps anyway.
That's
Hamish.
Stop us.
Hamish, you recognize the hill in front of you. It's the final hill before coming over the horizon and seeing the town you grew up in. And you don't remember this town being so little. This town,
It's average.
Hey,
yeah, it is average.
I was gonna say I know we're going for a moment here, but Spain can still only see more Dick Valley.
Yeah, I know. We're just gonna let that linger for a bit. Anyway,
Oh,
as
that's
you
all right.
come over the
That's what you
horizon,
do.
I'm not gonna read that, Yanya. You can't make me. So
Ew.
you see that this is kind of a desert area, and it's kind of oddly placed in Morduk Valley. And you see that there are scattered houses. There's a well and a tower in the middle. You see that there's farmland, but you see that there's not a lot of greenery here. As you look further in the horizon, you see that there is the forest way off in the distance. But this area is dry. And for you, Hamish, welcome home.
At 8. So, this is where I'm from. I know it's not a lot.
It's very bleak.
You know, we should probably just go, I think.
What are you talking about?
So, which one was your house?
I can see your house from here.
Well, you can see
Oh, which one is
everybody's.
it?
It's that one there in that
Savvy
area.
heads directly for it.
Wait, Savvy.
I'm in lockstep.
Wait, hold on.
We're going that way.
So
Not left to see
you
it.
guys start storming off into town looking for Hamish's house,
We're not storming, more like moving with purpose.
moving with
I
gusto.
I cannot move with purpose.
I don't think you can move.
I drag Asriel along in a buddy fashion.
Oh, nice.
right.
Do you guys synchronize your footsteps?
Yeah, we sure do.
Nice.
I
It's like we're in a
try my
three-legged
best.
race.
Yes.
If
Yeah.
you want, I can tie your legs together.
We don't need that.
Just wanted to make sure you had the option.
It's one of those things where it's in that case it was a simile. I had to think for a second if I used like
Okay.
Real.
Now,
Cam, can you? I got a feeling that things are about to get a wee bit insane. Just hang out with me.
I've got your back, Cam. It's gonna be okay. So something a little hinky about your family, or
No, no, they more more than anything, I'm worried about Savvy. I know she's got quite a bit to say. It's also been a while.
You don't think your family will approve of Savvy?
It's not about whether they approve of her. I think they'll just have some other questions.
well, step by step.
Hey. Right.
I interrupt this moment to thank Monkey Butt Scratch for the sub. Can somebody please claim Monkey Butt Scratch? Who is this person?
I think it's Monkey Butt Scratch.
it literally
Wait, I don't know this person.
Monkey
Work
Butt
with
Scratch.
I'm not
What's the
I'm not
expected
sure who they are.
reply? They're gonna put a message in chat and be like, "That's me."
No,
That's
no,
My
really-
real name, my address, my IP address. Here's everything.
Here's my
Last
social
four of the
security
social.
number.
Security number.
Birthday.
Okay,
Mother's
thank you,
maiden
Monkey
name.
Butt Scratch.
I really wish that they actually responded with monk.
Yeah,
instead of
wait, no, Monkey, you know me. Well, thank you.
This
And-
is a table full of adult children.
Welcome to the shenanigans.
All adults are children.
Yep.
So, as you approach the city, there are no gates. There are no fences. There's a dwarf, and the dwarf will watch all of you kind of pass, and we'll see Asriel walking with Savvy in tow, and then we'll call out a name. And Hamish, you recognize this dwarf? This dwarf is known as Thorderlig, Grim Fury. And the Thorderlig, Grim Fury family are, they're just a hard-working family. And they work the mines with your dad. You grew up, like he worked with your dad, and you grew up with him almost being an uncle. Now, as you're talking to Camille, he's gonna call out, "Sir Robin, is that you?" And Robin, as you look at this dwarf, it takes a moment to put two and two together. And as a matter of fact, I need you to make a history check.
History.
Roll for ageism.
A 20. That's a dirty 20.
Yeah.
It's so dirty.
Yeah. Robin, you've been here. you've been to Brittle Hollow. The troop has come through. And there was this one time when you snuck away from camp between shows because you saw a guy in distress. And as you're recalling the story, this dwarf runs out of the street and right up to you and gives you a giant hug. And his arms can't reach all the way around you. And he's short and stout. And he goes, Robin, what are you doing?
I get down, give him a hug.
Oh my gosh, is the troop in town? Is your dad here?
No, they're retired.
Oh.
They got old.
Yeah, we're all getting a little old. You look good. You look so good.
You're really good at lying. You've gotten a lot better at it than last time. I really let myself go.
Oh my gosh, let me tell you. And he starts walking and he grabs you by the hand and he's walking. Oh, you're coming from the north. What the hell were you doing up there? There's no shows up there. Anyway, let me tell you, everybody. Robin here, Mr. Christopherson, the man himself, made his way to my humble shindig, and he fixed my roof. The old man climbed up. Oh, forgive me for saying old. The man climbed up on top of my roof and patched it. And let me tell you, it's the only part of the roof that hasn't leaked ever since. Robin, you're a dream.
Oh, what honestly wasn't that hard. We built a lot of sets in the troop, and so it was basically just like a set. I built it on there. But you haven't let the building inspector come around and look at it, right? Because I guarantee it's not up to code.
Building inspector? You've turned green, Robin.
What happened to my camera?
Wow, look, it's a green screen. Wait, what does the real Robin look like?
Project on it.
I'm on it.
Robin, I'm trying to roleplay here.
Give it a tap.
You're going to have to unplug the camera and plug it back in.
Default, I know you were excited to use your new green screen. It needs to go behind you, not in front of you. It's not actually invisible. It goes behind you.
Wait, I'm wearing a green screen suit. Does that do anything?
Oh my god.
If you are subscribed, Monkey Butt Scratcher, you actually can hit the emote technical difficulties because it's what you paid for.
I will have you put some respect on the name because it's not Monkey Butt Scratcher, it's Monkey Butt Scratch.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you got it wrong.
Monkey Butt Scratch. Monkey Butt Scratch.
Monkey butt.
Anyway, this man saved me a pretty penny. And Brittle Hollow, we have no inspectors here. Anyway, hello everyone. The name is Thordalig Grimfury. A pleasure. A friend of Robin is a friend of mine. Giggles just posted a halftime show question and it says, this minute, what happened to your camera? Okay, good. Well, that'll be a question. And then, how dare you? So, I guess that cut that whole RP out. Welcome to Brittle Hollow, everybody.
My computer is telling me that USB device is no longer recognized.
Oh.
Interconnectivity issues.
Do we need to cut to a brief intermission?
No, just put my face up on screen. Just copy and paste.
Okay, I can do that, but that takes a lot of shenanigans. So for now, you're just a black window. Well, congrats. We can hear you, and that's the most important. Anyway, so no troop. You've retired. I got to say, Robin, that's pretty damn sad.
Well, yeah, it was a mutual decision. It was under new management, and the new management made the mutual decision for both of us that I should retire. So I did.
Well, congratulations! And you chose Brittle Hollow as your final resting place, as it is.
No, I don't think I'm ever gonna settle down. I think I'm just gonna keep walking around, meeting people, having beer, Where's the tavern around this place?
Well, speaking of, and he looks at the rest of you, and he says, "So this is the new cast, I imagine. Hello." And then he looks at all of you, and then he looks at Hamish. Me boy.
Totally.
Don't thordalig me. It's Mr. Grim Fury to you, son.
No, hasn't been for quite some time. What do you think it took me as?
Listen, your old papa is taking you enough to the mines. We know what you can do, me boy. Come here, bring it in. And he walks up and he gives you a big headbutt, and then you guys hug. They're gonna be excited to see you, son. This is such good news.
Have they been doing all right then?
Of course. The occasional ale kind of sweeps through the town. There's not a lot of healers around these days, and we're kind of short on meds, but you know us dwarves, we're hardy.
Aye, that we are.
Now,
So,
as you're
have you
all
been
talking,
getting enough mate?
have I getting enough mating?
No, meat.
Mate?
I don't need to know. I don't need to. I don't need to know about the sticky.
You mean Mrs. Grim Fury? She does. You know what? I'm not going to answer that with the sticky, but no, there's plenty of meat. We got a little bit of a farm town. It's great. Hey, out of character. As you guys are walking towards the town, I need you all to make Arcana checks. A 14 from Robin. 16 from Hamish. A natural 1 from Savvy.
Yeah.
Azriel with an 18 and Camille with the 12.
Actually, it's a 7.
How do
because
I have the
disadvantage.
highest
Oh,
Arcana
you're right.
modifier?
Wait.
Yep, I've got disadvantage.
A 7. Okay.
Mercy still hasn't got you. You wait on that. Yeah, let's.
Wait.
Here comes our ace.
Here comes our ace.
Please, for the love of chaos, let me
I mean,
play my
pretty good.
character.
Now, Azrael, you're already going to know what I'm about to tell them. But Hamish and Mercy with the dirty 20.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
And Robin, you're going to notice something. And Savvy. Savvy's too busy. Savvy notices something too. Okay, and Savvy, you notice this too. The tingling, the magical connection that you have, that for some of you is natural, for others it's been given to you. Some of you are just now learning of your magic, and you haven't, since you've gained your magical powers, especially at level 5, you haven't felt this before. And that is the lack of. Syl stops dead in her tracks, and she starts to hiss and growl. And Grim Fury's gonna turn and look towards the cat and kind of freak out, like, holy moly, that's a big one. And you see Syl start to pace back and forth, and refuses to take another step forward. As you all feel your magic connection start to wane.
Sil, it's alright. It's alright. You wait out here.
She hisses, she growls at you, and she turns and she runs back to the north, diving behind some rocks and cacti. She doesn't wait.
And so, does it feel like the entire area? Does it feel like it's coming from a certain place? Is it like an area of effect?
It is an area of effect, and you're standing in it. Now, with a 20, you will know this. It is some sort of anti-magic aura. You can't pinpoint from where, though.
My boots are not as snuggly.
Suddenly your feet are sweating in this fur-lined boot.
I just kind of, because I think I was in the cart with Cam still. I don't know where everyone was.
Okay.
I lean over to Cam and I'm like,
I'm right up with Ham. Ham asked me to be by his side,
never
and that is
mind.
where I'm gonna
Then
be.
I have the cart all by myself, and I'm like, oh, everyone to me. I don't know how to drive Fantasy Champion.
Important note: we probably stole a horse. Fantasy Champion does not hang out for that long.
Yeah, there were horses at the
Yeah.
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 I still don't have I don't drive carts.
Yeah. Well,
So Mercy is slowly climbing out of the cart. being
Okay.
like, agree with that.
Okay. As you are continuing your way to town, the magic reconnects in spurts, and then it goes out again. And Grim Fury is none the wiser for it, as he continues to say, "My son, you've been gone for at least the last 5 years, yeah? What have you been up to? Tell me everything. Oh, your mom is going to be so excited to see you."
Aye. Well, you know how one's got to find their own way for a wee while. Sorry, I just have a wee bit of a headache.
You're all right, boy. It's the heat. It's the dry heat.
I'm not doing okay. Did you guys see me disappear there for a second?
It's
I flickered out of existence and nobody reacted. I was fully gone.
You've been
I
here the
thought
whole
that
time.
was
Are you okay?
Just a technique.
I like ripped in half. I was like the screen went all fuzzy and I turned green for a second. But I think
Was
I'm back.
Thomas here again? Did you try to read her mind again?
Davy pats the old man on his back, just gently, as though there.
Mercy
By
will
that, do you
actually,
mean Robin,
when
or do
she
you
finds
mean-
those spots that are not that the magic comes back, she'll back up, back into the not anti-magic, and goes forward, and then goes back,
She
and then
just
draws a line on the
short-circuiting.
ground.
like with the stick.
Yes.
Okay. So, you'll notice that the zones get bigger and bigger. At some point, a whole block of the town itself is void of magic. And as you're looking around with your mercy eyes, you don't see where or what's causing it. You see that there are people out.
Unless I have detect magic.
Well, you step.
But-
Do you have detect magic?
But would
Do
that
you have
work?
detect anti-magic?
You're right. Like,
No.
Let's go see my parents. Let's do what we need and be on our way.
to be
So-
clear, what is it that you think we need here? Because
Food.
I thought that we were really here for just a visit, a friendly social call.
Savvy, the way you scare that makes me nervous.
It should.
We'll be on our best behavior. Did everyone hear that dog?
A dog runs across the street barking at a cat as it runs
Syl?
through. No, Syl's not in town. Syl was not happy.
Mish, for as many things as I've seen you do as of late, I didn't think that dogs would give you a fright like that.
Daniel, when you're bonded as Syl and I are, you know,
Well,
dogs have a little bit of a different effect on you.
is that why you keep your corner of the camp separate from the rest of us?
No, actually, that's completely separate. That's because my boots. I don't know if you know this, but leather, when they get all wet, this smells terrible. And
I did know
I
that.
was just trying to be nice. I didn't want you to have to smell that. So it's hygiene.
Hey, Mish. I don't know if you recall this. Pirate. Leather
Camille is gonna look around and
pirate.
I'm pretty sure literally all of us are sweating in leather all day since we met.
Yes, but I smell myself. I don't smell you. I think it's
Percy's
the
still
dwarf.
drawing lines, by the way. Percy is still
I
drawing
think it's
lines.
the dwarf.
Yeah.
The dwarf feet.
Leather daddies. Nice. Mr.
Mr.
Mopsy.
Let's go find my dad.
I pull off my leather mask.
Nice.
It zips up in the front.
As you
Do
are
I-
walking.
Does.
While I'm making lines, is there a pattern to how they're spaced out?
There's no
Or-
pattern. It's just once you get into town, it's almost like the whole town is under this effect. And you see people walking. There's people in wagon and cart with their horses. They go around you. They all give you a tip of the hat. There's lots of dwarves everywhere. And as you get to the center of town, Thorderlig is going to say, "Me boy, I do want to catch up. I'm sure you have a lot of talking to do with your mom and pop. Meet me at the Square Battle Axe Inn. You know the place."
Aye. Yeah, I can't wait to see you. And tell your missus to take care of herself. I don't
Of
know if I'll be
course.
seeing her, so
Oh, I'm sure the whole town is going to come and see you. It's not very often that a dwarf from your family leaves and comes back. I'll let the town know. See you later, my boy. And he takes off into the other direction.
Wait, before you go, I'm gonna ask everyone we meet this question. What's one embarrassing fact you know about Ham?
Well, when Ham was a wee dwarf, he hated the dark. He hated everything about it, which is funny considering our line of work.
Yeah,
He'd
it's
come
funny
up with
'cause it's a totally reasonable fear to have.
every
Yeah.
excuse in the book not to go in the dark. Slept with the canteen on, a lantern, wouldn't go in the caves. Is adorable.
Thorley, don't you have I don't know, anything else to be doing?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm gonna go tell the whole town. Anyway, now as you guys are walking, you pass what looks to be a park, a garden park in the middle of town, and you'll notice that it's really ugly. There's dried trees around it. There's a makeshift stone fence. you see that there's only one person at the park. The fountain in the middle of the park has gone rotten. The water itself is green, and you see that there's little swamp bugs kind of swimming around in it. But sporadically through this garden, you see there is beautiful green shrubbery. The only green in this entire city, and it's well kept and maintained. And the person who is tending to this place, he's about 5'11", extremely underweight, kind of lanky and like gangly. He's got pale, clammy skin, and he just looks like he's about to hurl at any moment. His brown eyes kind of look at you, and his hair is probably shoulder length. It's this curly auburn hair. And as he looks over to you, he says, "Well, what do you think of my shrubbery?" And he kind of leans into the shrubbery just a little bit more, as he sees you all kind of walking by. "You're new here. I'm glad that you are new because, well, no one has really seemed to pay much attention to the work that I put into it. And if you look around, this is a desert town, except for my shrubberies."
Quite nice.
I thought
He is
so.
the town shrubber. He sells shrubberies.
That,
Do they,
that's
just, do they look like normal shrubberies? Do they look weird? Do they not look natural to the area?
They are beautiful green shrubberies, and they do look natural. And he looks quite proud of his shrubbery.
Are they permanent installations or are they topiaries? Temporaries. Topiaries.
As long
Can I-
Along those same
Okay.
lines, I think that the thing I'm most curious about at this point, so this has been described as like an arid desert kind of town, and that's the kind of ambiance that I'm seeing with this. Does that seem unusual, or was that gradual in its development? Because we came from a very heavily verdant, well-irrigated, temperate area, and we know that south of this place lies another area of the same. So to have essentially what feels like a high desert in this same region, especially considering that we are now a decent way away from the mountains, feels extremely unusual to me, out of character. Is that something that would seem out of the ordinary or unusual in character?
It is out of the usual, but it's not by any means magical. It's just a person who
You've
is
made that abundantly clear.
fixated
There's no magic.
on keeping this
It's all
hedge. It is really technique. But
no.
you imagine the amount of water spent to
No, no,
keep
no.
this line of hedge.
We're missing the point with this one, though. I'm not asking about this garden. I'm asking about
Mhm.
Brittle Hollow as a city. Brittle Hollow seems to be a desert city surrounded by verdant forests and
Yeah.
temperate climate. That seems unusual to me, but you said we traveled for 5 days, so my question is, was this a gradual progression? Does this seem like somehow this makes sense? Or is this unusual that we stumbled upon suddenly the
Or was
equivalent
it
of
like
a
a
dry
really-
desert in a valley?
Like a forest desert? Or was it a...
It was gradual within the last 2 days' approach, but the fact that there are rivers, great rivers on either side of the Mordic Valley, as well as the mountains to the north and the lush to the south, it is abnormal to all of you except for two that this is a dry land. One of those two is Hamish because he grew up here, and the second is Azrael because she works here. But yes, it is bizarre.
What about Robin?
Robin, you haven't been here in about a decade. The last time you were here, it was dry, but not this dry. It's only seemed to gotten more dry.
Was my magic on the fritz the last time I came here?
Yeah, it was.
And is this little like community garden place, is this one of those places where magic works?
No, it is not. He's gonna look to you all and say, if you want to touch the shrubbery, you can touch the shrubbery. Go
I
on.
touch it.
It is
I
soft.
put my whole hand in it.
It's soft and velvety, and it is extremely flexible. Nothing about the shrubbery is brittle or hollow, and you just see this really awkward smile on his face. The name is Declan. Declan Malloy. What's your name?
Declan.
Knew it. Fucking knew it.
What's your name?
I'm so sorry. We might need to kill you. Let me just confer with my companions here. I made an oath in a different life that when we met somebody, we might have to do a deed that we didn't want to. This is I look over to Savvy.
And with that,
Is it time? Is it go time?
and with that,
Jello shots.
we are going to take our break. Before we do, if you all look at the channel points, there is one channel point that you can redeem for 15,000 channel points. And that was redeemed to name an NPC. And this NPC was named by Puck. Puck, thank you so much. Declan Malloy, everybody.
Yeah, thank you, Puck. Thank you for that gift.
Who only wants to tend to his beautiful hedges. Hey, we're going to come back. We're going to talk to Declan. You're not allowed to kill him. And we're going to...
You know what?
Just
There was a
assured
chance
his
for it.
death. You have
and
just
you just
assured
did
that he will
shit.
die.
He only wants to tend to his beautiful hedges. So we are going to take a break. I need to take a break right away. But the show doesn't take a break. Instead, we have a halftime show. It's called the Fireweed Tavern Inn Show. Or the Fireweed... I don't know what it's called. It's good. It's hosted by Soren Angel. And she is going to be interviewing one of our players tonight. So please don't go anywhere. But players, thank you so much for a wonderful first half. Take your 15, and we will be right back.
All right, hello everyone. We want to welcome you all back to the Fireweed Tavern. I'm your host Soren, and we have a special guest co-host today. Please welcome Default Player to the halftime crew.
Hello.
So this is our show within a show, and we appreciate you all joining us. Today we'll be continuing our interview segment, but before we do, we'd like to give a shout out to some very talented artists. As you may have already noticed, we have some beautiful artwork hanging in our tavern, courtesy of Puckwudgie and Soft Brambles. You will also notice the many legendary memes created by our amazing viewers like Aiko, Boop the Raccoon, and Mr. Mini Mopsy. If you are an artist and you create fan art or a legendary meme, we would love to see it. If you visit our gaming-related Discord, you may post your artwork in the community art channel and your top-tier memes in the Memes Are Us channel. And for those not using Discord, you can share your artwork by tagging us on Twitter and TikTok. For formatting purposes, landscape orientation is preferred, but it is not required. And if you do share your fabulous art, it may be featured in a future episode of Gaming Related, hanging here in our tavern. So, on to our new segment. So in the past, we've been answering some D&D related questions with our expert knowledge, of course, but today we're going to be continuing our new series. So I'll be interviewing a lovely member of our cast and crew, and before we get started, a quick reminder to those hanging out with us for the halftime show. You are more than welcome to send in your questions for our guest to answer using your channel points. but please be respectful and keep in mind that your question may be refunded if it goes against our community guidelines or if the guest does not feel comfortable answering your question. So today we have our member of our lead cast, Default. Welcome to the halftime show. How do you feel?
I feel good. It's good to be back. All the things.
All the things.
Feeling
You ready
good.
to jump in?
Yeah.
Alrighty. So as usual, we're going to start with that simple question. What is your favorite food at the moment?
At the moment, so we make a real good pumpkin pasta that we
Ooh.
bust out for fall and spooky season.
Mm-hmm.
And we made that a couple times, and we recently got ourselves a bread maker. So we've been making bread, having fresh bread with some pumpkin pasta. We also been making all sorts of different soups.
Oh my gosh.
It just feels very fall vibes, very cozy.
I love that. Follow-up question. Do you have a favorite like warm beverage that you go for in the fall time?
We're big on tea in this house. My wife probably, it's not very unrealistic to say she might have 40 different types of tea.
Oh
And in the kitchen, she has a little hutch that is designed for tea. It has canisters. It has tea bag dispensers, and there's a ton of different teas in there. But then we have a whole nother shelf of the pantry that's also dedicated to tea. So
love
right
that.
now I'm drinking a pumpkin spice herbal chai with a spot of cream.
That sounds fantastic, actually.
So,
I
yeah.
also love tea.
So those are our warm beverages that we go to.
As you should, you know. We did have a couple questions come in from Giggles before the halftime show even started. So, first and foremost, Giggles asks, what happened to your camera?
No idea. My what I did is I unplugged my USB camera webcam and I swapped it with my headset thing, and it said didn't recognize that either. So I was like, oh, I think the USB port shit the bed. And then I just looked at it real hard. You know, like when people are stranded on the side of the highway and they just open up the hood and look at it, like that'll fix the problem. I did that, but this time it worked. I didn't change anything. I just looked at it and it started working. So,
hey,
yeah.
Well, you know, that's good. I'm glad it started working with your
Hacker
mind
man.
power. Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Secondly, follow-up question from Giggles in the same minute. How dare you?
How dare I? I walk this plane of existence. I defy everyone who stands near me. I do what I do because I fucking can. That's how dare I.
You know what? That is
sorry.
the best answer.
I didn't know how to terrify.
You just went full like monologue there, and I loved every second of it. I hope that was sufficient for you, Giggles. Next question came in from Toxin. Who is Declan?
That's a question for Giggles, not me, but Giggles has told me the story that actually, you know what? Not my story to tell. But it's somebody that I have promised that I have to be okay with and participate in the murdering of. I have made that promise out of a game that as soon as Giggles was like, I guarantee Puck redeemed the points, his name is something, and there was like 2 or 3 names. One of them was Declan. When we meet Declan, you have to promise you're gonna help me kill Declan. I was like, I'm on it. Let's do it. Ride or die.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, we gotta kill Declan.
I love that you just jumped in. You're like, no questions asked. Declan's gonna die.
Right.
Amazing. Oh, man. Oh, Puckwudgie sent in a question for you. You recently got married. Congratulations. Did you have a fun story from your wedding or your honeymoon?
I have a ton of stories. Probably like the most fun is I got stranded in Ireland for like 3.5-4 days. So that was great. We went to London for our honeymoon, and we spent most of the time there. We had a connecting flight through Ireland. We were only supposed to be there for like 2 hours, and then we were gonna fly home. And then apparently a door fell off of a plane, and that flight got canceled, and like 300 people had to find new flights. And so we couldn't find a flight, and we couldn't find a flight, and we couldn't find a flight. So we were at the airport for like 12 hours. But we had a friend who worked for the airline, and we're texting them, and they're like, well, you're probably not going to get on a flight tomorrow, or probably not the next day either. So we're like, well, let's spend 2-3 days in Ireland. Oh, shucks. We get a little bit of a longer honeymoon. And it was on the flight home that it was like a little ferry flight. Nobody was on, they didn't sell any of these tickets. It was just like the 30 people who couldn't find flights from that one canceled thing. They just shoved them onto this plane, flying us home. So we all even got like our own rows. There were so many open seats. They closed half the plane to make it easier for the flight attendants to serve us. And there was 2 children on the flight. 2 of them. There was only 2 the whole flight. And they hated flying, and they had a lot of opinions about it, very loud opinions about it. And for like the 10-hour flight, they did not stop screaming, and they sat immediately behind us. So that was our big fun travel story.
Oh jeez, how long was that flight?
It was like 10.5 hours, and there was 2 kids, and they took turns sleeping. At one point, I walked to the flight attendants, and I'm like, I know you closed the back half of the plane, but can I just stand there? I won't make a mess. I just don't want it to be loud anymore.
Oh no.
I just want to go stand back there and not hear screaming children.
Oh dear. Oh my gosh, that sounds like torture.
But it makes for a fun story.
It does, indeed. Oh, look at that. It's another one from Giggles. Who do you think you are?
I think I'm exactly who I need to be to do exactly what I need to do. And Giggles, you know what it is that I need to do. And I'm ready. Anytime, anywhere. This is a very strong, like, aggressive energy that I showed up and chose violence.
You know what? I love it. You know what? You choose whatever you want to choose. You know what I mean? You wake up and choose violence. You wake up and choose peace. Whatever you want, you know? Whatever you feel in that day. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, back in episode 1, way far away now, we learned that you own over 80 board games. What are your top 3 go-to board games right now?
Oh, this is a mean question. It's like when you ask somebody with multiple children who's their favorite child. They have an answer. They're just afraid if they say it out loud, the kids will hear.
Gotcha.
That's, but recently I've discovered it's like my top favorite game right now. I don't know if it's because it's new or because it is just my favorite game, Spirit Island. I don't know.
Right.
It's a game where you're spirits on an island.
Wow. I never would have guessed.
Yeah, and you're using your powers to kill colonizers. There's people who are trying to colonize the island, and you're killing them. So it's like reverse Catan. So that it's a lot of fun. There's another one. It's a betting game, kind of like betting on horse races, but you're betting on camels, called Camel Up. That one's just a ton of fun. Big highs, big lows. I introduced it to somebody, a friend from work, and the first time they played it, they got so excited by a dice they rolled that they had to run out of the room, and when they came back, they laid down on the floor and said, I'm gonna pass out. And that's the best testimonial of a board game I could ever give. That so exciting you're gonna pass out.
I love that.
And then you said top 3. My third one is Star Wars Outer Rim. It's a game that my wife and I go back to all the time. It's a ton of fun. Highly recommend. Very thematic.
Ooh, that was a thematic game. We did have another question coming from Yanie. What inspires you when making a character?
The joke. What's the punchline? I like so there's this thing that I kind of let rule my life, that like if you're having a good time, you're bringing a smile to the people around you, and every opportunity you have, you laugh. When you need to be serious, or when you want to be serious, it's a lot easier to be. If you're always that person who's giving out the tidbits and the advice and those types of things, and then you do try and be serious, nobody notices. And also it makes life more fun to live. So I don't usually start with the deep, like this is the moral like crux of this character. This is the I just like, what if he's the dad of the group and he does puns? Wouldn't that be great? My previous character was a paladin, but because at first level you didn't have enough money to buy a horse, I bought a donkey. And I'm like, what if they call him the Donkey Knight? That sounds fun. So like, I don't know. Those are that's kind of what inspires me for a character.
Oh, I love that. So, we're talking about what inspires you when you make your characters. What inspired your character, Robin?
So I really was going for like the dad of the group, the one that tells you to put on sunscreen, and makes poor jokes and isn't a fit adventurer. But there's this podcast called Not Another D&D Podcast. Highly recommend it. In their first campaign that they did, there was a NPC character called Balnor. He was the dad of that group, and I thought he was hilarious. So, very similar voice to him, and trying to fill that same role, but is a different class. Robin's a different class and all that. So, trying to Baghdad, yeah, Poop the Raccoon, you get it. So yeah, that's who inspired me a lot when I thought I want to be the dad of the group. I immediately thought Balnor, and so went for that.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much. You definitely bring that dad energy to the group, like every single time. Goal achieved.
I did it.
You did it. What was your very first D&D character?
So, it was a elf ranger. My brother taught me D&D on 3.5, and I was in middle school, and so I went and stayed the weekend at his house.
All right.
And we pulled out all the books, and a big stack of books, and we were reading all the rules, building a character sheet, doing all that stuff, and we went to the hobby store. We bought a little miniature. We bought some dice, and we got ready to play. And first thing we woke up, ate breakfast, sat down, started rolling dice. It was like the very first thing we did. And I failed the mission so hard that the quest giver was like, I'm done with you. You screwed it up. It was supposed to be a stealthy mission, and you like did so bad. I don't want to work with you. You've ruined my reputation. Leave me alone. And I was like, no, don't go, because I didn't get it. I was like, you need to give me the next mission so we could keep playing. And so I tried to follow this very high level, stealthy, assassin-y type. And that didn't go over very well. I was shanked in the street and died. So my very first character, very first session, died. And it was just me and my brother. So he was DMing, I was the player. TPK, first time ever playing.
Oh my gosh.
It was great. And I've been playing ever since. I never stopped.
It was great. I just died. It was the best thing that ever happened. I've been playing ever since.
Yeah, it's amazing. I remember because I was like playing a lot of video games, and I just I had a bow and arrow, and I shot the guy that was running at me, and he ducked behind a pillar, and I'm like, I'll just wait for him to poke his head out like they do in the video games. And then all of a sudden, an attack came from behind me, and I was like, it went around the pillar, and it blew my mind. And it was the coolest thing I've ever experienced in D&D, probably top 3, that it went around the pillar, because it wasn't a silly computer running it. It was my human brother. And so that really stuck with me. And even though I died on my first time ever playing, it was so much fun. I kept playing.
You know what? Hell yeah, sticking with it, you know? Gotta die more than once.
Right.
So we're gonna jump to some other questions that aren't D&D related. So if you could do one thing without any consequences whatsoever, what would that thing be?
So just like no consequences or no
Yeah.
negative consequences?
No negative consequences.
Okay. I would win the lottery.
You know what? As you should. You know what I mean?
So no
As you
negative
should.
consequences. I wouldn't have any of the negative
Hey.
people coming and asking me for money. All the
Mhm.
negative. Yeah, it'd just be all ups.
Hey, there you go. You know what? Good for you. I think that's
Yeah.
a solid answer.
Yeah.
Nobody bothers you. You just living out life with your big wins, you know?
That is how the lottery works. It is a choice. You have to choose to win. So that means if you've ever participated in the lottery and you haven't won, you just didn't try hard enough.
Right. Yeah, you didn't try hard enough.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah, right. We did have a question come in from Yanie A. You woke up after a nap and look outside to discover the zombie apocalypse. Now what?
Sounds like I'm hitting the snooze button, rolling over. That sounds like a problem that you need to be really well rested for. So I'm gonna get another 2 or 3 hours in, and then but I would probably freak out and be not the main character in that movie because I'm not good at zombie survival scenarios. I would probably try and drive north because I think I heard that in a movie once. If you go high enough north, the zombies will freeze. So I'd go up to Canada.
Canada?
Yeah.
I love that. You know what? I wouldn't know what to do either, so I'd probably do the same thing.
I don't think I could bring myself to kill a zombie.
Yep, no.
Because I have this fear that I am going to
Mhm.
wake up in that type of scenario. I'm going to start killing zombies, and it's going to be one of those Halloween 5Ks where people dress up like zombies. It's going to
Mhm.
just be...
Oh no.
They're not actually zombies. It's
And then you gotta
just-
live with that.
you
know?
got to live with that. And
Mhm.
and I didn't use that as my no negative consequences answer, so
Right, so now you're screwed.
I'm done for.
Yep, you won the lottery, but now what, you know?
Right.
Oh my gosh. I don't think any of us would survive. Well, maybe, you know what? Giggles would. I think so.
Giggles could do it.
Giggles could do it.
That's what I would do. I'd wake up, there'd be zombies everywhere. I'd go find Giggles.
Yeah, there you go. Everybody just goes to go to Giggles. Oh my gosh. So, this might save you from the zombie apocalypse. If you could have any superpower, what would you choose?
I've thought about this a lot. My favorite answer to give for this question is the ability to spontaneously start musical dance numbers with people in my vicinity. Everyone knows the dance moves, everyone knows the lyrics, and just like in a musical, I solve a problem by the end of the song, or I learn something important. I would love that power, and I would use it
Oh my gosh.
all the time.
that would be so cool.
Yeah, and then everyone would go back to normal. Nobody would talk about it. Like I don't know if people would know, but yeah, that's what I would do. The other one that I could think of that's maybe like a little bit more serious of an answer to that question is the ability to mess with probabilities. But
Ooh.
that would get me the lottery one from earlier. I could just
Mhm,
make it a 100% chance to win the lottery, or I could make it like 100% chance that a dance number spontaneously breaks out around me, and I could
Hey.
get two for one.
There you go. Good old twofer.
Twofer.
Yeah. Okay. The instant like dance mob is like the best thing that I've ever heard of. Like, and everybody would just stop and go about their day afterwards. Like,
Right? If you're
Amazing.
bored at work, if you're on a long drive, like everyone stops on the freeway and gets out on their cars like La La
Okay.
Land.
whoa.
Like everywhere you could just be like, you know what, let's dance. It would pause the movie. If you're in a movie theater, all of a sudden the movie would pause, you just start dancing. It'd be pretty
Okay.
great.
Like literally every moment would be like a movie. That'd be so cool. And then just goes back to mundane life, you know?
And because it's like a musical, you're solving problems left and right. Like,
There you go.
yeah, I'm running late for a very important meeting. How am I going to make this happen? Dance number, and then I make
Yep.
it on time.
Look at
because
that.
That's how it works in musicals.
Yep, that's how it works. Musicals logic, you know? So the last question I have for you, what is the scariest thing that you've ever done?
I don't have a good answer for you. I've been thinking about this all day. I did I don't know. So the first thing that pops to mind, so I don't know if you guys could pick up on this, because I give off like super jock energy. I didn't do sports growing up. I actually am a dancer. I did theater. So I know, big shocker. But I remember my first play I did. I was like paralyzed with fear backstage and like borderline hyperventilating. And the only thing that got me past it is one of my fellow cast members goes, "Hey, you good?" And I was like, "Yep." And I just stood up and walked out on stage and did the thing.
Oh man.
And it was just kind of like I didn't want them to know that I was very scared, and so I just did it out of pride. Sheer pride pushed me onto the stage, so that was pretty damn scary, but it doesn't feel like the scariest thing. But that's probably all I got for you. That was pretty scary.
Hey, you know what? I'll take it. You know what I mean? All right. So we are going to start wrapping things up. Thank you all for hanging out with us in the Fireweed Inn and Tavern. We want to take a quick moment to recognize those who popped in chat so far today and the followers gained so far in our 20th episode of Gaming Related. So please forgive me if I mispronounce your name. I will try my best to get them right. So first up we have Boop the Raccoon, Puckwudgie, Mr. Mini Mopsy, Yanier, Star Scourge 113, Fortune 272, Monkey Butt Scratch, thank you for the sub, and the rest of the cast and crew. So those of you returning, welcome back, and to those of you new to Gaming Related, welcome. We are happy to have you all here. And before we direct your attention back to Monk and the lead cast, don't forget to check out our social media platforms on TikTok, YouTube, Discord, and Twitter for clips, announcements, and other fun content. Thank you all for joining Default and I for our 20th intermission show, and thank you so much, Default, for joining as co-host for today's show. Really appreciate it.
Of course, next time we gotta interview you.
That's terrifying, but
I think we're out of everyone else. I think we did everybody.
Yep, we did.
You're up next.
I'm a little scared. But I feel like it's gonna be okay.
I got something special planned.
Okay. Alrighty, bring it on. So we hope to see you all next Wednesday at the same time. And without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy the second half of Gaming Related. But before we wrap up real quick, is there anything that you'd like to add, Default?
There's been something on my chest I've been wanting to get off for a while. Okay. Deep down in my soul, in my bones.
Welcome back.
That's it. That's really all I can think to say about that, honestly.
As profound.
Beautiful.
That was
Honestly,
heavy.
I was having a really hard
inspiring.
day. Like, I just had a really hard drive, and I've been run down, but that gave me, like, not just a reinvigoration in general, but a new perspective on life. So thank you for that wisdom.
Yeah.
Would you say,
I
would
was
you
in the
say that you
doldrums.
had a drive and now you have power? Perhaps
I
even
do.
that you might stay
I do.
hungry
I
and
would.
eventually devour.
I would say that. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly with that verbiage. Yeah.
Soren, he just sang your favorite
Yes.
song lyrics.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I noticed Leon, you're the real MVP.
She clearly
Is that a
cared.
song?
Right now,
I don't know.
you just wrote it. We just released it. It's on
Yeah,
Spotify.
it's out there.
This song brought to you by that
Are
Are
person.
we industry plants? Holy shit!
We've
I-
come
I
a long
heard-
way.
I heard a joke recently that it applies to that song. How does a rock use the restroom?
How does a rock use the restroom?
It Dwayne's. It's Johnson.
Oh.
It sure does.
Okay.
It
Fan-
sure does.
Sorry, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
We know you're out there listening.
Yeah, I just
We
want
would
to
like to thank our sponsor of tonight's show, Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Dwayne, thanks for supporting us.
Even you saying that as a total fucking joke, my heart swelled up with like happiness. It's just like, oh,
It's not one of his projects. It's not one of his companies he's affiliated to. It's just the person, Dwayne Johnson.
We appreciate him.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, boo.
Yeah.
Rock the John Dwayneson.
Ooh.
There we go. There we go.
All right.
Listen, Critical Role got Vin Diesel. It's only fair we get Dwayne.
Yeah. That's a
and
good point.
honestly, I mean, better trade, like 100%.
I love how that's the logic. If Critical Role got the other one, we should obviously get. We should be the next up in line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Monkey butt scratch is secretly the Rock.
Monkey Butt Scratch's name is so long it doesn't even
Imagine.
fit on the board. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
a legendary name.
I love it. It made me laugh out loud. LOL. Okay.
Lol.
Let's.
Did you do a lull?
It made me
That's
do.
so Lamau.
Oh no.
SMH.
ISTG.
ROTFL.
Okay, now it's hurting.
WB, everybody. WB. All right. So,
I'm gonna AFK.
oh my gosh. Well,
TTYL.
while you're AFKing,
You're
Someone-
GTFO.
someone summon the spiders. So, Mercy, close your eyeballs. Here they come.
No.
The spiders. Oh, that was Toxin. Toxin, thank you for the spiders.
Oh,
I
you're
realize
welcome.
that
Yeah.
it's delayed on the other thing. I could just change the screens because
You
I
totally
only
can.
have one screen.
Okay,
I
I
should
was-
just do that.
I was gonna say, make sure it's somebody that's subscribed because there's ads right now.
Oh,
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 all right.
There's no ads for me.
you know, we also need to add a redemption for like a water noise, like a slurping sound or something like
no. No.
I think that gets a little
Oh.
out of hand pretty quickly.
Ooh! Record your merfolk sound, and then we make a redeem for it.
They're marrow. Actually, they're marrow, not merfolk.
Man.
Technically, a marrow is just a merfolk contaminated by the abyss. So hop up off it. How about?
Everybody
Wait, I
hydrate
got
because of
one.
toxin. Everyone drink right now and stop. Oh my gosh.
Actually.
Thanks for the hydrate.
Merfolk is just the same thing, but whatever Camille said.
All right,
valid.
everyone drink. Let's get back to work. So, thanks for the rainbows.
That is how I
You
usually
would be the
approach my
coolest
job.
boss.
Everybody drink, get back to work.
You heard it here, folks. I'm the coolest boss. All right. Well, Declan Malloy is going to say to you all, I'm so glad that you are in town, and Hamish, you're looking good, my man.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So what brings you back to town?
Well, I was here with my friends, and we're just visiting family.
Oh, wonderful. Well, your family's doing well, and I've been doing them a favor. I've been watering their plants. So when you see them, tell them I said you're welcome.
Well, obviously, we'll do. Yeah.
He kind of does the Leon like hair flick, and he gets his hair out of his face. He goes, well, while the sun's up, I have to keep working. And he kind of gives you all this really awkward bow. And you see he kind of puts his hand on his back. You can see he's kind of in pain. As he kind of stands back up, he gives you a crooked smile. And he turns and he walks away.
The doctor says he's got scoliosis. That's why he's only good for taking care of the hedges. That's why his back hurts. Should we go see my family?
It is said that for those who suffer, sometimes death is a mercy and a kindness.
They do say that, don't they? As that my hand slowly drifts towards my rapier.
I don't know if this is Addy-brained or Addle-brained, but thank you for the follow. Welcome to the shenanigans.
Just an anecdote that you learn at sea, I suppose. What time does the sun set around here, Hamish?
It'll be setting around 8 o'clock.
And what time is it now, DM?
It's probably like 2-3 p.m.
7:59.
Yeah.
If he was to keep his shrubbery in such condition, I would imagine that he would need to tend to them multiple times a day, but you wouldn't water the plants during the day because the heat would bake the plants. So I would imagine that he would also tend to them at night. Is that right?
He often likes to. He comes out probably twice in the evenings. Well, once in the evening, once in the early morning, to water the plants. So yeah.
So
that is good. That is diligent, good work.
So just to clarify, what you said is he waters the plants at a time of day where there's typically not a lot of witnesses in a place of town that's not very heavily trafficked.
He's not really liked by anybody.
I understand why.
Okay, so there'd be no alibi needed. Everyone would just accept.
Holy moly.
He
It's
often
just a
likes-
guy watering his plants.
he
That's
often
all
likes
it
to
is.
go-
Robin
it's
turns
not,
his
though.
head towards the sky. I made a promise.
It's not unlikely that he will go on a trip to find another shrubbery
I
and bring it back.
actually would argue that. I think that, yeah, he does seem like the type to go on journeys.
Absolutely.
Long journeys. Good to know. So which one did you say was your parents' house again there, Hamish?
Do you promise not to also send them on the journey?
Awkward long pause.
Yes, I do promise to not also send them on a journey. Where are your parents, Hamish?
Mercy
Over
did
here.
the air quotes.
Over here. Come on. Well,
You
it
guys-
should be over here. I can at least take it to my house.
You guys find a house that is off on its own. You see that the house down the street, all the houses are kind of connected to each other, like townhomes or duplexes or even triplexes, but not Hamish's house. And you see that his house is actually in better condition than most. You see that the stone work of this house is well kept. It is aged, but you even see that there's a cobblestone walkway up to the front door. You see that there is a steel door where everyone else is wooden. And again, Hamish, everything just looks a lot smaller than it was 5 years ago. And the first thing that hits all of you is the smell. And it's the smell of pumpkin pie baking in the oven. And for a split second, Hamish, you have this flashback of your father coming home angrily one day. And he's going to say, pie again. Dodina, a man works hard. I need more sustenance than just pie. Ash, thank you for the sub. Happy 3 months. We appreciate you, Ash. The goat. You're going to see your mother's face. Now, something you remember about Dodina Bonecoat is she doesn't take shit from anyone, especially your dad. And she's going to say, well, if that's the case, Thurble, you can eat whatever you want. You think I made this for you anyway? I work twice as hard as you, and I could probably even make twice as much money. And you'll see he'll kind of gruff as he takes his boots off and he walks up, and they'll give themselves a hearty kiss. And although they were kind of rough around the edges, you did feel a very strong relationship, a partnership between the two of them. And you all see as Hamish stands at the door, just kind of looking, just staring at it.
Hamish, are you having a stroke?
Hamish, I don't know who
No,
those
he's
people
okay.
are, but that was hot.
Right, you can poke inside our heads now.
Is it?
Wait, was that in his head?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh. I stand by it. I'm reading his mind.
Nothing changes.
Yeah. No, I can't, probably because there's no magic. I'm so sorry. I thought that was happening in front of us.
No, it's a flashback.
No, I was just smelling my mum's cooking.
So, did you want to knock, or should I?
No,
Savvy knocks.
wait, stop it.
As well, do the bump of
Oh, please don't.
bump, bump.
Already, back up.
You're gonna hear
Jamil, how do I look?
an angry
look.
sounding. Go ahead.
Answers, man. How do I look?
I thought it was gonna be funny if I was like, you look, and then the door just
Yeah,
opened.
that's a good call. So you're gonna hear an angry dwarf woman say, "Hold on a minute. I told you to go and do your work. How are you back this early? It's only 2:39 p.m."
I knock again.
And you hear pots and pans banging around. You hear the sound of a kettle as the door opens. And there stands this rather tall dwarven woman, as tall as most humans of her age, with fiery red hair that's been braided over her two clavicles, her shoulders. You see that she has wonderful leathers and cloth, not armor, but clothing on, bright green eyes that match Hamish's. And then she'll say to you all, well, and then she'll lock eyes on Hamish, who's a little bit shorter than she is.
Hey, Mum.
My boy.
Whoa.
And she is going to grab Hamish under the armpits and lift him off the ground and give him a hug. As she starts to kind of twist a little bit, Hamish's legs just kind of dangle a little bit. And Hamish, you are just hit with this sensory overload of your mom's neck, the sweat of her baking, her hair, and just her voice. You feel her heart beating as you feel the sudden shake as she immediately starts shaking, a little bit of a cry. She puts you down, and a single teardrop comes out of one of her eyes, and she says, Junior, what are you doing here?
Don't worry about that.
Savvy
calling
says to
that.
Robin.
I'm calling him that from now on.
It's great to see you again, Mum.
Well,
It's been so long.
I wish you would have given me a notice. I don't know, a letter, anything. Come in, please. Your friends, all of you, come in.
Is Dad home?
No, your dad's at work, hon. He won't be home for some hours. Come in right now.
Eric, you best listen to her. She won't take no for an answer.
You're damn right about that. And, well, you're right on time. You, and she's going to point to Camille. You, can you go man the stove for a moment? I got to go freshen up. I got a few pies on the way. I'll be right back. And she looks at you. And she strokes your face. Juna, you've grown.
Aye. When you come back, I'll introduce you to my friends.
Of
Did
course.
somebody say pie?
Yeah, don't touch it. Don't touch it. And she runs off into the room and
No
slams the door.
promises.
She picks up her skirt and she kind of runs off. And you guys are in a house and it's dwarven sized, but taller than most. And you see where Hamish gets it from. His mother is a very tall and stout dwarf. Hamish, you see that there are pickaxes that are hung on the wall in a crisscross form, and they belong to your father. And you know that when the Dunbur mine closed, there's sentiment in those pickaxes. You see that there's a fireplace that is currently stoked, and there's a pot that's currently brewing in there. And then you see the kitchen area that just your mother has always loved to bake. And she's really good friends of the Mendes family who run the bakery. And you're basically in your own house with your group, but alone. What do you do in the few minutes that it takes her to freshen up?
This is my home. Please go ahead and take it. We don't have too many chairs, but you're more than welcome to sit.
I believe I was sent to the kitchen, so why don't I go make sure that's all well and good?
Oh, absolutely. If you don't do that, she'll beat you.
Camille, you walk into the kitchen, you see that there are 5 pies that are currently in rotation in the oven. Some are sitting on top of the oven, some are in the oven. And I don't know why she picked you, but for some reason you are comfortable in the heat of the kitchen.
I was gonna say, as I'm like walking that way, if I can I just ask Savvy kind of down low, like, do I just give off like line cook energy? Because this is not the first time this has happened.
I think it's the energy. Yes.
All right.
You look like
What?
someone who's willing to help.
That's a kind way of putting it, yes.
I prefer the kind way. We can end it there.
You look like you take orders.
Damn it.
You immediately...
You look like you could get three English breakfasts out during a breakfast rush at a diner. That's how I describe you.
Been there, done that. So, in the few minutes that it takes her to freshen up, she comes out and looks as beautiful as ever. She's put her hair back in a couple ponytails, and she's going to walk into the kitchen and she's going to just give you a pat on the back. She's going to say, "Thank you. I wasn't expecting company, but this is the best kind of company. What's your name, darling?"
Oh, I'm Camille. You can call me Cammy or Cam, whatever pleases.
Cammy, it's so nice to meet you. How long have you been traveling with my son? And she talks loud enough that you all can hear this, as she is going to host you all from the kitchen. Please make yourself at home. Take off your funny boots.
Funny boots.
Speaking of boots, Mum, I really got to show you these ones. Yeah, unbelievably comfortable. I think you'd like them.
Yeah, I bet I would. They don't look like working boots. Tell me, son.
You'd be surprised.
Tell me.
Now, well, I found them. Doesn't matter. I found them, and the word I would use to describe them is snuggly, and they can make you jump really high. But that's neither here nor there. Let me introduce you, my friends. Hi. So here we have, well, you know Cammy or Camille.
Yeah. Great in the kitchen.
Aye. This here, this is Mercy.
She's going
She's
to look.
actually kind of looking around and is like still gauging anti-magic.
Yeah, she's
She'll have a
calculating.
lot of questions here for you in a little bit.
She's a little girl.
Uh,
And you're going to see, and this is something that you haven't been into a lot of towns. And because you've known Mercy, because you have worked together in Bearspire, most people were comfortable and used to Mercy. And I know that's a really weird way to put it, but your mother is taken aback. She's going to say, my God, she's the most beautiful little girl I've ever seen.
Well, I do admit that she is quite pretty, but she's actually about my age.
You don't say. I would
I
have.
do.
I would have thought she was not even a teenager. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mercy. It's a beautiful name.
Yes, thank you.
My name is Dodina. Dodina Bonecoat.
It is nice to meet you.
Like, she takes a second, but she'll be asking you plenty of questions here in a little bit.
Okay. Well, great.
Over here, you know Robin, he was here, what was it, 10, 15 years ago, with the troop, with the Robin of the Hood.
Yeah. And she goes and she looks at you, Robin, and she kind of grabs your hands. You're the reason that Hamish found his purpose. You're the reason he left me. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. No. We loved your stories. It's good to see you, Sir Robin. What? Why are you with Hamish? If I know that sounds rude, but how did you two connect?
Well, so it all started about, Ham, how long ago did you leave this place?
5 years.
So it
5
all
years
started
ago.
about 5 years ago. I came back and I went to Ham and I said, hey, let's leave this place and abandon your friends and family. And then we hit the road. I'm also kidding.
She kind of
And
gives
this
a curious
Tough crowd.
smile.
Tough crowd.
And Mum, and this is Savvy.
My name is Sabby. You can call me Sabby. It's Savaliala, but... Hello.
Well, it's quite a pleasure. As she grabs your hand, you're going to notice something, Saviliala. Since you've walked into this town, not only did you feel the tingling that is natural to your magic kind of fade, you're going to notice that your feet feel like you have iron shackles weighing you down. Walking slowly with Azrael has actually not just been because Azrael is exhausted, but because you are really struggling. It feels like your feet are bloated, like they're ripping the seams of the laces and seams of your boots. It feels like you're carrying dead weight as they just sit. And she looks at you and she's kind of gauging your appearance. And she's going to say, my dear, Saviliala, would you like to sit down?
You can stand. I do not need to impose, but you are kind. It makes me wonder why Junior was so hesitant to bring us by.
Yeah, it took a lot of convincing to get him to come back here.
Mum, they just, I of course wanted to come home and see it. It's just a little nervous to see Dad. That's all.
Hey, your dad has come around in the last several years. I'll have you know that. We're both going to be and are very happy to see you. And Savvy, I just need to say it. Thank you. I'm sure if you're traveling with Hamish, you're probably good people. Thank
He
you.
prefers ham and lemon ding dong.
She lets out a hearty laugh. That's going to stick. Well, go on, have a seat. Have a seat. And she's going to sit you guys down at the table, and she's going to bring out a pie or two, and she's going to bring out some ale for all of you, and you are going to have a very pleasant afternoon and early evening, as you all begin to catch up. What do you tell her?
Just generally speaking, just where I went after I left, and kind of glazing over the last 4.5 years, while emphasizing the last 6, where I met my current group of friends, and I tell her that I finally got a job as an adventurer in Bearspire, and it led to us being on top of a mountain and being in caves and freeing a giant. And I'm just gonna say this all matter-of-factly.
Yeah.
And like 1 inch deep, mile wide storytelling.
Sure.
And then yeah, after that, after we got out of the mountains, we decided to come and visit home.
I do want to rewind the clock.
All right.
As she looks at Azrael, and it
Oh
says,
yeah, Azrael.
and
They're all asleep at the corner, like.
Azrael, the comfy warmth of this room, the fire, the smell, the home or the hometown. Yeah, you come in, and she's going to look and say, and this beautiful one as well. What is your name?
It's Asheville.
I've seen you around town. As a matter of fact, I saw you not even a 10-day ago. Not dressed
yeah.
like that.
In fact, no.
Yeah, no, of course. You've been hanging out around the Mendez's place. I thought you were an apprentice or something for the baker. Is that right?
Yeah. I was.
Oh. Interesting.
So,
We should say hello before we leave town.
Mrs. Ham's mom, say more things.
well, just being friendly, you do look, I hate to say it, rough. You look rough, Azrael. Do you need a drink or 3? She slides you a cup of ale.
I'm gonna look hesitantly over at Savvy.
She catches your
And then-
eyes as you look at Savvy, and she's just squints as she's trying to figure out what's going on in the room. Good call, Yenye. Everyone take a wisdom save. Our viewers,
Savvy
not.
is just gonna kind of pat Azrael on the shoulder as she looks over at Hamish's mother. She hasn't been able to sleep. Terrible dreams or some such. You know how it can be.
No. Hamish grew up with nightmares. It happens. But, I mean, what I don't understand is, Hamish, you've been gone for 5 years. In the mountains? Bearspire? You traverse Dunbeer Mine? And I just don't understand. It doesn't line up. When did you run into Azrael, the apprentice baker?
5 days ago.
She's actually who we were helping along, and the excuse we had to get Hamish to come back here. We found her when we were coming back through the mines, and she was all by herself in a bad spot, so we're helping her back here to her job as a baker's apprentice.
Well, my
And
dear.
just to contextualize things a little bit, like all that stuff that you just said, that was like within the last couple months. That was like, don't think about that in Ham's like whole 5 years. That was like the past 7 to 8 weeks.
Oh. Well, I don't mean to pry. I'm just genuinely curious. Ham wasn't the kind to travel with women before, and now he comes home with 3. So,
It's actually a funny story. So we're in this bandit camp. Ham is standing over this person, bow in hand.
Robin,
He was just so handsome. He was so handsome,
Yeah.
and you know what? I'm not surprised that your little Ham Junior grew up to be such a lady killer. You know what I mean?
Lady killer. It's perfect.
clip that. That's amazing. Okay.
Mama,
That's me boy.
never mind.
Azrael, one bite of warm pie, and you immediately put your head back against the wall, and you pass out. And she's gonna say, "Let's speak easy. Let her sleep. She looks absolutely exhausted." But I
you
want
don't
to.
have to worry about that, Mum. You see, she actually has a strange condition. Whenever she sleeps, she goes deaf. So we don't need to be quiet.
Well, okay. Anyway,
In fact, you can be as loud as you want.
Hamish, look, I'm gonna tell you myself. Ever since you left, your dad he's been putting a lot of work in. And he started working with the smithy. Once the mines have kind of closed down, well, there really wasn't much else to be done, so the dwarf's got to work. And that's what he's been doing. He's been hanging out with Daros. And you know Daros as the smithy of this town. And she's quite the smithy. And as hot as this place is, she works mostly nights. And she makes all of the steel required to run a city. The wheels in the caravan. Yeah.
I honestly thought you were going to say, as hot as this place is, she's hotter. That's what I was expecting.
Well, you
That's what
haven't
I was waiting
seen
for.
her yet, but that's the eye of the beholder. Um,
There's
There's a
beholder.
beholder here. I pull out my rapier. We roll initiative.
No.
Beholder, I hardly know her.
listen, there's a void that you I just got it, Camille. There is a void, and your dad's sorting things out, but it's been years, and he asks for you all the time. The night that you left, and you look over at the wall, and all of you catch his gaze, and you see that there are scratch marks on the wall, and these scratch marks have come from weapons. And you can tell that, again, that flashback, the night that it happened, your dad got so angry that he started to take pickaxe to the wall. And the argument ended somehow along the lines of, so this house isn't big enough, well, not good enough, you have to leave Brittle Hollow? What about everything that we've worked up to even get to this place? And you could tell he was just kind of putting a lot of stress on you. And the last thing you heard as you closed the door behind you was the sound of pickaxe to the wall. And that was 5 years ago. Anyway, lad, if you've been traveling from the mountain, you too must be exhausted. We have time. Have yourself a napsy, and well, we'll have ourselves a little get together when your dad gets home.
Thanks, Mom. But I think I'm going to, if it's alright, I'd like to see the town.
You alright?
Is Nim and Asher, are they still here?
No. They're not. They kind of left too. Everyone around your age kind of left, but they'll be back. They come by every few months or so, but they themselves are on a little bit of a traveling adventure themselves. Again,
What
if
is it they did?
they decided to go back to Stodia Hall. So, whenever the next shipment comes through town, they usually come with. But the next time the dwarves are coming in is going to be before winter. A couple months away. If they knew you were here, though, I know they'd be here. I promise you that, son.
Don't know if I'll be staying here till winter.
Well, I'm just glad you're here right now. Come here. And she gives you another hug. Your father's going to be very happy to see you. So,
Mom, I left something out of my story. You see, we didn't really find Asriel in a good spot. She was taken by some bandits. This was 5 days ago. And at least some of those, well, all those bandits, we killed them.
you see her eyes go wide and her face go pale.
And many of them were from here.
Oh, Junior.
So, I only know one for sure. But I think it's best I go tell him what happened.
Hold on a second, Ham. Maybe that's not such a good idea. Wait for your dad to get home. I'm so sorry, son. That sounds traumatic. I'm so sorry. No, please. We'll figure this out together.
It's fine, Mum. I just want to make sure everybody has some closure, you know?
Closure brings charges, Hamish.
Listen. We need to hear everything. Okay? Please. Don't leave. Go into town. You have a few hours before your dad gets home. We'll sort this out, son. You did a good thing. You saved Azrael. That's a good deed, son.
Aye. No. Don't mistake my melancholy as a regret. I'm sad for the people I care about. For the ones they lost.
Okay. And you're gonna see she quietly starts to pick up the dishes. You can see another tear kind of roll down her eye as she's just kind of looking around, kind of discombobulated. She's not quite sure how to process what you just told her.
Did you teach Hamish his technique?
Davy looks over at Mercy with just a very wide smile on her face. So glad that somebody else asked the question that she's been dying to know.
She looks back. What do you mean?
The berries. He told me he showed me how he makes the berries. The recipe for that. I was wondering if you gave him that, or if it came from his father.
His jumping technique as well, actually, I'm curious about.
No, that was actually a little later. The person that told me that was in Strathmore.
Oh.
Mum just taught me the berries.
What about the cat wrangling?
You lost me on that one, but as far as technique goes, yeah, I did teach him that recipe. And dwarves gotta do what a dwarf has to do to survive, and Hamish, you look like you've been more than surviving.
They're
And
sturdy folk.
So my
And-
question is if you felt different inside the town.
I don't follow your line of questions. No?
Most people don't.
She's not interrogating you. This isn't. She's asking questions. That's just how she is. She's curious. It's not a line of questioning. It's conversation.
Like I said, takes her a second, but she'll be asking you tons.
I'm not offended. I'm just... No, I don't feel any different. It's always been how it's always been, other than the fact that my son has come home 5 years later with news at my doorstep that he's ended a life.
So you never feel a difference between one spot and the other. Like a chill running down your spine, or
Like you have a fever.
goosebumps.
I can't say that I do, no.
If I could cut to the bone of the previous question really quick, are you aware that your family technique for berry making is magical?
I don't know what you're going on about. No.
Insight check.
This is the weirdest day of my life.
All of you can roll
I
insight
don't-
checks,
I'm fucking insight checking that.
including you, Hamish.
All right.
I trust her.
Good call.
Can I choose not to? I'm not going to do an inside check. I trust her. She's
Of course, she's your mum.
I trust her just like I trusted that Ham didn't know.
Okay. What did you roll? Did anyone else roll besides Robin and Mercy? Okay.
Sure. Why not?
Okay. Very good roll. To you, Robin. Yeah, she's telling the truth. To the rest of you, she's got a flicker of hope, a dash of excitement, a small curled lip on one end. As she looks at Hamish, her eyes become anime style, and you see the tears starting to well. It is a good technique. with a little bit of myrrh and mistletoe. You could be well fed for so long. I'm sure he's done his part to keep you well fed. Is that right, me boy?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I was actually telling Mercy just a few days ago about it. Of course, it didn't quite work the same when I tried to show her.
You know, he doesn't just get his looks from me and his height. He gets my muscles too.
And your technique.
Well, if you're gonna jump, you gotta know where you're gonna land sometimes.
Not with the right shoes, apparently.
Shoes aren't everything, but
seriously, Mom, you should come out of the town and check out the shoes. I'm telling you.
son, I haven't been out of the town in years. I don't know what you're getting on about. Ever since the mine closed. I mean, without Dornbir mine... But you know, that mine is closed more than a decade.
Well, I get that, Mum, but there's so many... there's one other person that I really want to meet, but she can't come inside the town, and I'm...
Okay.
What do you say?
Okay.
Just one little trip out of the town.
Look, you've dropped a lot of bombs on me, son.
I think a walk would help.
Yene says kidnap your mom. Okay.
Only 30 minutes, Mum.
Okay.
It'll be alright.
Okay. Yeah. Let me get my slippers.
Oh,
We take a pie.
yeah. I was just about to say, are we done with cooking?
Of course.
I'm sorry,
course.
it's been a long trip and it smells delicious.
Of course.
And he has talked about your cooking.
I'd be happy to.
I've talked a lot about you to Savi.
It's good.
All good things.
You guys go out for a walk.
Mostly good things.
Sappy, don't steal all of the pastries. You're like a pirate.
Oh, I love a good pun. That was a good one. Wait, you're not really a pirate, are you?
Privateer.
Are we near water?
Not in the slightest.
Not in the slightest.
You keep your secrets. She walks out, and I need Mercy to make an investigation check.
Yay.
You'll have advantage, Mercy. You have lines drawn in the sand, literally, throughout the part of the town that you've been walking.
I knew my lines would come in handy.
Okay. As you are drawing the lines, sure enough, out of the pocket and into the next, you feel the chills down your spine as you're going out of magic, into magic, out of magic, and she doesn't do anything weird, and you don't see anything that leads you to know what's causing this. You just feel it. Eventually, you guys get to the point where you first entered into the town, and there's the line you drew, and those of you who rolled on your insight, 17 and 16, Mercy and Savvy, you see her do something. You see her take a slow, deep breath. She closes her eyes and she takes a step forward. And she crosses the barrier between no magic and magic. And you can, for the rest of you, she's just walking along, kind of holding on to Hamish's hand. As you guys are out, you see Syl's ears perk up from behind one of the rocks.
Mum, this might come as a bit of a shock, but you just wait here. Syl, come on out and say hi to my mum.
Syl's gonna growl, and and you see your mom kind of take a step back, but eventually Syl
She's at 8.
springs up onto the rock, and your mom's mouth opens as she says, "It's beautiful and friendly."
Hi. Daddy friendly.
Just friends.
She holds your
Nice.
elbow as she takes a step forward and puts her hand out. Syl comes up and starts to sniff her fingers and her pants, and she gets a little bit too curious, Syl does, as the scent is just overpowering. And eventually she starts to rub against your mom's leg. "Where did you get this magnificent creature?"
Fireflies.
"Is that why it's blue?"
That's the going theory, yeah. No, Syl, I was having a bit of a down day, and Syl found me and helped me feel a little better. She just stayed.
Another female you found. You surround yourself with good friends. I like it. "Son, I need you to do me a grand favor with this magnificent beast.
Aye.
I need you to keep it as far away from town as possible.
Aye.
Just please. It's beautiful. It absolutely is, but
He knows he can do magic. He understands that. You know it. He knows it. I know it. You clearly
I
understand
know.
that there is something here that is deadening that. To be transparent and to ensure that we are all speaking the same language, it's not just you, it's not just him. I as well. So, can you help us understand what it is you are afraid of, and why you choose to conceal that from him now?
Sorry,
If you
what do
mean to
what do you-
keep him
what do you mean?
safe. Hamish,
stop.
your mother knows that it's not a
No,
technique.
stop.
It's not. I'm not gonna play this game with you.
She's
You
gonna
understand
Just gonna
something,
look around
and we
to make
do
sure
as
no
well.
one else is listening to this conversation.
make a
We're outside
perception.
of town.
Make a perception check.
I still trust nothing.
As she hears Savvy speaking, she's gonna let go of you. Yeah, nobody followed you out here. There's nobody around. You are out of town. The only person that has seen the cat was Grim Fury. And she's gonna say, "Son, I have to get back. You have told me a lot today, and there's lots to digest. Please come back home and wait for your father. Please excuse me." And she's gonna look at all of you, and you're gonna see
Mom.
with a concerned look on her face, she turns, and she starts to kind of walk fast back to
Are
town.
we outside of the anti-magic field?
We are.
You are.
And what was her name one more time?
Her Dodina Bonecoat.
Mrs. Bonecoat. Look, I know this is upsetting to hear. I would be upset if I were in your position as well, but honestly, I think my suggestion, as always, is it's best to be open and honest with these types of conversations. My suggestion to you is just to have this conversation with us and speak freely what you know about what we're asking. And I'm gonna first do unsettling words,
Question.
and then I'm gonna do suggestion.
I'm gonna make a call, and we're towards the end of our sesh, so we're gonna play this out next time. But I need to know if casting suggestion into an anti-magic zone will nullify it. If you cast it from outside into it, she's
But
inside.
we're out of it.
She turned and walked into towards town, so she's walking into it.
We were that close.
Yeah, right at the
I
edge.
didn't
Right.
even get an opportunity to cast it.
Oh, like, and you're telling me that?
I don't
be
even
fair,
get an
we-
opportunity.
To be fair, we came to where Syl was, and Syl stopped like right on the barrier.
Because Syl felt it, and she took that deep breath.
And the second she turned around and he calls to stop her, she's immediately over the line. That feels a little bit
There was
ridiculous.
a lot of preamble. There was a lot of preamble.
There was
before he
4
actually
hours
cast the
of
spell.
preamble. Like, we had so much preamble. We don't need more preamble. Let's just have the time now.
Yanye wants to know what preamble means.
What?
I'll Google it.
Yane said nothing.
Yeah, he did. I saw it. Okay.
Maybe I'll just do a real bomb ass persuasion check to be like, come here and let me answer one more question. I need to know about your pie recipe, and I'll just do a really, really good persuasion check, non-magic.
I would like to give help. As her son that's been missing, I would like to give help.
Thanks, Yanye. They didn't even answer my question.
I punch Ham in the face. Oh no, Ham's hurt. He needs his motherly care. He needs his motherly care. The moment she steps past Mercy's line.
Okay.
I think it'd be a good idea.
Here's what we'll do. We will render this scene next week on the final pages as you cast suggestion on Hamish's mom.
That just sounds dirty.
Well, he did it, not me.
Yeah.
I'm putting my magic all on your mom.
No. Please stop.
Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for playing. A special thank you to our Savvy, who has traveled the world, got to their new home today at like 2:30 in the morning. 4 in the morning.
Oh, jeez.
Said, I'm not going to make it tonight. Psych. I am going to make it tonight. I don't have my setup. I don't have my microphone. Not only did you make it work, but you did fantastic tonight. So thanks for your energy, Savvy. Please have a great night.
I'm going to sleep and close on a home in like 6 hours.
Yay!
Congratulations.
Yay.
Congratulations. Azrael says you can't sleep. She's going to light a fire under your ass every time you get sleepy.
You know what?
It's the elven
Try
way.
it. Try it. See what
Yeah.
happens.
Yes, chat.
I'm not gonna
Congratulations
test
to
that bait.
Giggle Cheeks. That's amazing. Everyone else, thanks for playing. As per usual, our show ends at 11 Mountain Standard Time, but the after show, the after party begins as soon as we wrap. And we will be in our Discord, if someone can post that. Our Discord is a place where we talk about the session and the game and look at all the funny memes that I missed during the show. If you're comfortable, please join us. You can either type to us, you can turn on your microphone, and if you're super brave, you can even turn on your cameras. It's definitely not necessary, but more than welcome. Love the community. Thank you for the follows and the subs. Great game, everybody. We get to meet the Hamley.
Yay.
The Hamley.
Yeah. Azrael is still alive.
Whoever said that, thank you.
I don't know who said it, but it was great.
Yeah.
So
I believe I believe Leon did first.
It got thrown around last week. I don't know exactly who said it first.
nice.
I'll take it. I said it. It was great. It was me.
We literally have it recorded. We can find out.
Yes.
Maybe it is.
No
It
reason to
I'll
look.
I'll ask Gabe when he gets there.
Yeah,
that's a
I'll
good
take full
shout.
credit.
Yep.
Okay.
And speaking of people that watch on YouTube, thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe and share the show with your friends.
But thank you less than the people who watch on Twitch.
Yeah. Also, there's only a select few, or not even a select few. There's just a few channels that stream on Wednesdays and that are still streaming past 11 o'clock. And we are going to raid with the people that we have on. I learned something from Leon Le Leon's Twitter or Twitch, sorry, that he streams all the time. He's a variety streamer and he's awesome. And he's about to hit 200 followers.
Oh,
is
Go
true.
do it.
200 big ones.
Go do it.
It's incredible. As a matter of fact, let's plug Leon.
Oh, this is a good time to bring up, actually. I'm doing another Leonathon. when I hit 200, I'm gonna start streaming, and I'm not gonna stop until we hit 250.
Oh,
So
man.
we're looking, if we follow the trends of the last ones, we're looking at like a 48-hour stream. So that'll be fun.
Done.
Yeah.
My
Done.
goodness.
Yeah.
I love the
Nobody,
last
nobody
Leon done.
follow. No one follow.
I will.
no.
I will
I'm
be
not
there
gonna
for it.
unfollow. I'm gonna wait until it, and then I'm gonna unfollow.
Oh,
That's a
Take those
huge
48
stream.
hours into
So
36.
it's not just Savvy's character trait. Giggles loves psychological warfare.
Yeah.
I'm in a really dark place. Like I said, I'm starting my villain era right now.
Oh, I couldn't tell. Actually,
His
so-
reputation area.
If you need gaming related to do some streaming while you sleep, we can come up with something. We'll definitely help because your success is our success. Love you, dude.
I appreciate that. I love
Yeah.
you too. We'll talk.
Yeah,
I have some ideas.
What I was gonna say is, whenever Leon raids another channel, he has like a script, and everyone copies it, and then when the raid starts, they all post it and blow it up. Can you come up with something we can all copy, and then when we raid the other channel, we all give him likes and stuff?
Did it.
Great.
I posted it in chat. What
I
we
guess
did.
that's it.
Paste.
That's
So
it.
laughing Robin face.
Great.
We can come up with something, but that's a
Okay.
good one for now. Yeah.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, anything
All right,
else?
so
anyone else
everybody
has?
does the Robin face. All right, got
Roger
it.
that.
They're gonna be like, "What is
Hang
this?"
on,
Roger,
wait. Are we rating another D&D channel? Because what if they're in the middle of a very serious moment?
That's
Oh,
on
even
them.
better.
Even better.
That's on them.
That's
I usually just spam our torches.
Yeah. That would be a good one. Or Robin's face.
Giggles always yells, "Hold the line."
Hold the
I love
line.
that.
I love that.
Yes.
Flame, hold
Alright.
the line, flame. Got it. Okay.
What if I add more flames? Is that good?
I'm
bad?
just gonna copy whatever Giggles puts in there. But anyway,
All right.
thanks everybody. Anything else anyone else wants to say before we
That one.
wrap this show?
I love
I
you
think-
all.
I think, yeah. I think Default had something.
Well, I really did say everything I needed to say earlier, but if I were to just kind of repeat some of the main touch points,